Didn't they have a system called Pippin
Yes.
from Apple?
Yes.
And that was trash.
That was a failed system for Apple.
I thought you said pimpin'.
Pimpin'?
I was like, wait. I'm like, wait. When
Yes,
did this happen?
it's shaped like a hand. Ah, yes. Whether it's a beer, a shot, or even a glass of wine, grab your favorite beverage and welcome to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Algie857.
The 23rd Stallion.
Sticks.
Turbo 857.
And your boy Big Shock, what up?
And we got a very special guest in the house tonight. We have the main producer, developer of Kickstarter project game right now, Fallen City Brawl, which promises to be up there with the best 2D beat-em-up brawlers that gamers have ever played.
Yes.
And with parries and counters and air grabs and throws, it just might be. Introducing, round of applause for Mike Wells.
Hey!
I love that introduction. Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Need some fireworks.
Yeah. Pyrotechnics.
We added afterwards.
We might,
Cue the pyro.
might be edited in.
Added in post.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you. It's fantastic. Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Appreciate that. Thank you for not canceling. Thank you. We love it when guests don't cancel.
Yeah.
But anyway, just like every podcast, except for last week, of course, we talk about the games we've been playing for the week. So who'd like to start?
Well, I only played one, so
Okay.
I can start. I played Unruly Heroes.
With who?
This guy, me, and that guy.
No, I wasn't there.
You gotta watch it on video, yo.
Yeah,
You gotta watch it on video.
Yeah.
Everyone but Turbo right here.
Yes. A 4-player game, so obviously one of us isn't going to play the game.
Exactly.
There's a lot of funny banter during that game all the time.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of funny talking and yelling at each other.
It's hard to get us all
Yes.
together for the 4-player co-ops, especially now with jobs and all. But, you know, when we do it, we record it, and we let y'all see.
Yep. Hell yeah.
And that's coming up. We got the playthrough coming up.
Oh yeah.
But that was it's a pretty challenging game. It reminds me of Rayman Legends a little bit.
Yeah.
a little hint of a stall
it
also.
does.
A little hint of it. A stall.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
With the attack with the attacking and stuff. The attacking and the platforming
I
reminds me
guess
of a stall.
attacking.
Well, there's a platform.
See?
Yeah.
Rayman's a play. This looks very well. Actually, ex-developers from Rayman Legends team made that game.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
okay.
That makes
Well, that's
complete
perfect.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Complete sense.
Yeah.
I
But
could see the influence.
it showed us how we can get our ass kicked this playthrough.
Yes.
Because it wasn't a simple playthrough at all.
Yeah, I was.
Some of the bosses in there
Got tougher.
Stomped us
showed
out.
us. We had to learn some patterns.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like the patterns weren't crazy. It's just getting 4 people on the same page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To
I-
dodge the pattern, it's
I-
like almost impossible.
Oh, plus they were cheating a little bit.
yeah.
They were cheating a little bit.
Well, I wasn't satisfied with my performance on the last playthrough because I was just not in sync with you guys. I just wasn't in sync.
I mean, at some points I had to just stop moving because my character doesn't jump that high. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll just wait till they teleport to catch up.
Yeah.
Smart way to go about it.
Yeah.
That's a cheap way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way.
And my character is very slow too, so it's a very each character has a very unique, different like play style.
You think
so
my character would be the slowest, but he's like one of the fastest.
It's like
Yeah.
the first or the
Yeah.
second fastest.
Yeah.
Because his stomach is leading him. That's what it is. It's like,
I'm the big pig in that one. So he shouldn't be the fastest. But yeah, it's an awesome game. Awesome
But
game.
you did make a mistake in saying that that's the only game you played
I
because
make-
there was
I make
another
no
game
mistakes.
you played.
No mistakes.
Oh, you did, man. The Takeover. We played together, man.
Oh, yeah.
Co-op.
Oh yeah, that's not a mistake. That's a misquote.
it's a misquote.
Oh,
we
God.
did play Takeover. That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Yes.
That's another multiplayer game. That was reminiscent of Streets of Rage, kind of,
Ish.
but it had a different art style. Very different.
Yeah.
It was kind of like pre-rendered a little bit.
Yep.
Kind of like you're playing with Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong Country, but in human form. You got mutated into a person.
That's the worst description I've
Oh
ever
yeah,
heard in
right.
my
I'm
life.
thinking the
But
Donkey Kong
it's on
Country.
point though, right? It's perfect.
They're shiny
hilarious.
like Donkey Kong Country. Yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
a little bit.
It kind of reminds me. But it took a little bit getting used to, but as far as the animation stuff.
Yeah.
But after you play certain beat 'em ups, because you go, jump from one beat 'em up to another, it's always a transition.
Yeah.
because none of them play exactly the same.
Right.
But
Yeah.
once you get used to the timing and everything like that, you start to feel the game. And this one had a little bit of a Punisher tinge with the guns.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I
Yeah.
love this. One of my favorite comic book characters of all time.
You mean
and-
your favorite?
That is your
That
favorite.
is your
Well, no, one of
Who's
them. I like
topping
Spider-Man. I like anyway, but he's
yeah.
I'm kind of a fanatic with Punisher.
Thank
but
God
anyway,
he made it into Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
oh, dude,
Still can't believe it.
it's
Still can't
awesome.
I can.
It's awesome.
he said I can.
I saw it. Well,
But one thing that really blew me away was that one stage, and it was a little disappointing because it was only for one stage,
it was a
and it was a completely different game.
it was a homage to Aliens versus Predator to beat 'em up.
Yes.
So they threw that in there. You get a machine gun, unlimited bullets, and a bunch of aliens come after you.
Yes. Yes.
Not
And
a
it was
spoiler. Not a spoiler.
well, no, but it looked like it reminded me of like a Resident Evil almost.
Little bit.
Kind of, but
Little
like a 2D.
Was
beat
it
'em up
like that
version of it.
stage in Mother Russia Bleeds when you're gunning down people in
Yeah.
that writing
Yeah,
stage?
yeah,
Was
yeah,
it like
yeah,
that?
yes, yes.
That's a fire stage.
Oh, dude, it's
I love
awesome.
that stage.
It's awesome.
And there was an elevator stage. Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
There's always an elevator.
There
stage.
always has to
Every-
be.
yeah.
We're gonna ask Mike later about
Yeah.
Fallen City
Yeah, we're
Brawl.
gonna get
If
you
there's
for
an
it.
elevator stage,
Don't tell us
don't
yet.
answer. Don't answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't answer.
An elevator stage and put it on Fallen City Brawl on the Kickstarter. I've got 3 stages that I haven't kind of revealed yet. That may well be an elevator.
You have to have it. Yo, it's in Double Dragon. It's in Streets
Every
of
beat 'em up.
Rage. It's in every single beat 'em up. There's a
No, there has to be.
yeah.
There has to be.
It has to be an elevator.
People would cancel their pledges if there wasn't. I'd be so disappointed.
The elevator.
And where did the enemies ever fall from? They fall from the sky. Like
They
where
all-
do
they
they
come out
come
of
from? They're through the
different areas.
sides. Like
Yeah.
It's a trap, man. They're coming from the top. They were waiting for you. They're all just sliding
trap
down.
door.
I never thought about that. The elevator's going up and enemies just appear out of nowhere.
yeah, just fly in.
Because they're not real.
Don't question it, man.
They're
Don't
not real
question
people.
But for some reason it works. I'm like, all right, whatever. Let's just clear out the elevator.
it. Yeah.
Just enjoy the fiction.
Yeah. So, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
But that's what we played,
That's
right?
it. Yeah, that's
Alright.
what we played. I guess I'll go next because it's really quick, man. Started a new live streaming, weekly live stream
Oh yeah.
called Tetris Tuesdays. So every Tuesday at 9 p.m. I'm going to be streaming different Tetris games.
So after your
Yeah,
tacos, watch some Tetris
Yeah, man.
Tacos and tequila.
What?
and your tequila. Yeah.
Not
Tequila.
trying
Triple
to
T.
No, man, no tacos, no tequila.
be, No, you should
Just
do
Tetris.
the. No, you should do the taco thing.
No.
man.
That's
That's gonna
for the people watching in chat. They can have the tequila. and
Burrito
the tacos.
Tuesdays. No, I'm still playing.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
What else? Have you been
Anyway.
Man.
No, it was a good stream.
So if you want to know more about that, obviously it's still up actually. So you can feel free to check that out.
And leave a like.
The other game I've been playing, I actually started playing it earlier this week, and it is awesome. It's a game called Blood Roots. It's a single player beat 'em up, but it's very similar to more in the lines of that other game. What the hell? The other game I'm playing.
Oh,
too.
that one.
Oh,
Shoot, man! I just drew a blank. What the heck is the name of it? It's a PS4, also on the Switch.
was
It's also a beat 'em up. It's a single player beat 'em up. I was playing that before this. Shit, what the hell's the name of this?
It'll come to you.
It'll come to you. It'll come to you.
It was
At
a
the end of the
sleeper
show.
hit. It's a game that nobody really talks about. Nobody really knows, but it's an awesome
My
game.
friend Pedro.
It's like the God of War. It reminds me of God of. What the hell, man? I just drew a blank.
well,
It'll come back to you.
it'll come
I
back.
It'll
just
come back to
drew
you.
a blank. But anyway, this game is awesome. It's a game where it's an arena brawler kind of game where you go into into an arena and you have to kill people. You get kill streaks where you can use anything in your surroundings to fight the people. It's a one-hit kill. Very similar to Katana Zero.
Is it like a Kane?
No, it's very
No,
similar.
different.
No, it's more similar to Katana Zero
Zero.
in the fact that you have one hit, you kill the enemies with one hit, and they can kill you with one hit. But you could use the difference is that you could use, anything around you, like pretty much everything. There's weapons all over the place, and you can use it to kill, and it's very satisfying in the way it plays.
And that's the eShop or is that PS4?
It's in the eShop,
eShop.
and it's also it's actually for everything at the from what I found out. But
okay.
yeah, it's on Steam. It's on it's PS4. I think
And it's
on
only one player?
Xbox. So one player, yes, but it's awesome. Awesome game.
Has it got a Cheeto Blade kind of feel? Do you remember the Cheeto
yeah,
Blade? on the
yeah,
PlayStation?
I remember that
yeah,
game.
yeah.
One.
Faster
Well,
pace.
one hit kill. Kind
It's a very fast-paced game though, and it's one of those like when you die, you start right back from the beginning again, and it's like, but it's fun and satisfying because there's so many different. You can play the same stage, you're gonna play it a different way every single time. That's pretty much it, man.
All right. Anybody over here? Who's
I'll
going
go. gonna talk about Dragon Ball Fighterz real quick.
Oh god.
Oh, again?
Shut up, Tetris boy. But no, just played some ranked matches. I broke even on a couple. Game's getting tough. I'm at the level where you have to be above average to advance, and it's just rough. And on a side note, they just announced the next DLC character.
Master
Roshi.
Roshi. Master Roshi. Yeah, that's right.
I think they're running out of ideas.
No, that's good that they win another Goku instead?
No, he's gonna play. He's gonna play really different because he has no super dash because he can't fly.
He looked good. In the trailer, he looked good.
He looks like his specials are gonna be dope. I'm amped.
He's gonna be a good character.
He's not gonna be my
Is he
main.
going to get Diesel, though?
He's not gonna be.
He
my
has
main.
to. He has
No,
to
that's
get
yeah.
That's going to be another separate character.
I swear to
No. That's gonna be his level 3 super.
It's gonna
Yeah?
be DLC.
Yeah.
They don't turn Super Saiyan. You got to get the other costume. That's another person completely.
Who are the next two characters, man?
I don't
It's
know.
like,
I'm
who
hoping
could-
for Raditz. I really am.
He's not in it?
No.
I thought he was a long time ago too.
Probably.
It has to be Raditz.
But there's two,
Nappa's
there's two
in
more.
it.
Yeah, if you have Nappa, you have to have Raditz in there.
I'm
I mean, come on.
I'm hoping.
Raditz is trash.
He is trash, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's got to be a
It's
character.
trash.
But if you really think about it, most of the characters in there couldn't hold a candle to like Krillin right now. So,
It's true. Yeah.
You know,
Trash.
And that whole squad sucks anyway too. It's true.
the Dragon Ball Suicide Squad.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Yamcha's nasty in that game. So
He
was
is.
Krillin. So was Tien.
Yeah.
They did them.
They're good.
Really
I heard
well.
they were pretty dope. I saw a lot of videos of people getting off.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah. That's
I'm sure they're playing the
yeah,
game.
And what?
I'm sure they're playing the game.
Really? What kind of videos?
You going?
I'll go.
You on the hub?
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath.
Really?
I bought. They had the combo pack, which has the extra characters plus the Aftermath pack. They went down in price, so I bought that. Okay. I was like, all right, that was about $30 for both of them. So I was like, I can do it. I was like, I'll do the 30. So
Not bad.
I played through that
Good switch.
campaign and messed around with some of the new characters. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. You know, I got
Dead Liu Kang?
what?
Were you dead Liu Kang? Zombie Liu Kang?
He's not dead, man.
Dead.
No, that's man, that's deception. He's been alive for a while now.
He's in this game.
He's been alive for a
He
while
ain't dead.
now.
He ain't dead. He's a god now, man. He's a god.
Don't ruin this.
Fire,
Spoiler
lightning
alert.
Well, yeah.
Spoiler
Spoiler
alert.
alert, dude.
Spoiler
Kev just
alert.
ruined the whole game.
You could see it from the trailer of Aftermath.
I don't even have to play it anymore. You just ruined it.
Spoiler alert.
If I spoiled this, if I haven't played it yet, too bad for you. Too bad. You had your chance.
Wow, damn.
But Shang Tsung's story is really good. The way they incorporate him into the story, they're just excellent at writing stories. Man.
Yeah,
pay for
that
the-
whole crew at that company, the storylines are
Hands
top-notch.
down, best fighting game stories that no one messes with them. They're better than Capcom with the Street Fighter
Better than
stories.
DC?
They're better than the DC story.
no,
Well, the Injustice
No,
one I
well,
heard
this
was
is
good.
Injustice franchise. It's the same
same-
team.
I heard Injustice was dope.
Different people.
Different people. He's like,
no.
they're
So
awesome.
yeah, storyline for Injustice.
I heard it
Is
was-
dope.
They're
Yeah, it was
good.
fire.
Yeah.
Now they follow that same type of thing.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
did you pay for the easy fatalities? The one
you
button.
know what?
You didn't get the one button
they're-
fatality?
they're in- I think they're
I'd
in
buy
there
that in
already.
2 seconds. I would buy that in 2 seconds.
I have access to them. I don't use them. I like the
Wow.
difficult fatalities. Play the
course
game
you
the
do.
way it's supposed to be played.
Of course you do.
That's
So
how
no,
you
so no fatalities.
I ain't learning all that shit.
Fuck that.
Kev don't do fatalities.
I could do Scorpion and Raidens. I have to continue to play the game. You know?
I'm not
Hold
learning all
block,
that, man. It's
hold
too
block,
much.
Up.
Yeah.
I remember all my Mortal Kombat 2 fatalities. That's
But
it.
I recommend you play this game. It's awesome, and it feels like Mortal Kombat 2. Great game. I recommend it.
Okay.
Okay.
Damn, you
What
just
was
dropping,
that?
you just dropping keys.
Oh, you
And
And he's dropping the mic.
And you haven't even had a shot yet, dude.
know,
I
right?
played Shenmue 3 for 15 minutes. It's good. Yeah, 15 more minutes.
All
yeah.
right, that's about all you're going to play of Shenmue.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig more time into it later, but so far it looks
Wow.
great. So far it's a great game.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, it's Shenmue. It's the exact same type
the same
of
game.
Yeah,
It's the
same
same
shit.
game, same
Yeah,
game.
same
It's
shit.
very much like the old one. It's very reminiscent to
Yeah.
the old
Yeah,
game.
if you like the old,
It's like it came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
yeah,
I want
They
to get
followed
my.
the same format. It's the same exact format.
nothing wrong with that, man.
I want to get hired to my first job, so I go. "Yeah!"
All right. All right.
What?
It's the sounds they
It's a
made when they were
Shenmue
moving the
sound.
crate.
It's a Shenmue sound.
For anybody who's
Okay.
If
played
you didn't play it,
Shenmue,
then
yeah.
you just sound real bad.
Yeah.
I
People
played
just
the
think that
first
you
one.
spazzed
could-
out during the podcast.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine the
acknowledge
people who
it
never played it.
probably requires context, but still,
Okay.
that's the sound.
All right.
That's the sound.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's
I
it.
think
man.
you
It's
should
your
go
turn.
now.
Okay. Yeah. I think we
Good,
should
so you're
move
ready to
on.
go.
What the hell did I play? Oh yeah, I finally beat Regalia of Men and Monarchs.
Oh wow.
Ah.
Because that had the glitch
Glitches.
that wouldn't let me save the game.
There were many glitches.
So I had to
That's
stop.
why.
It has 7 chapters and it stopped me at chapter 4. But then I was able to start saving again. But it still had glitches though. It randomly, you saw it. Randomly it would just turn off.
About
for the
7
hell of it.
glitches, 7
That's
stages.
Yeah.
crazy.
But I played it the worst way possible, probably, because like there was 2 characters I didn't find. There was like some things I didn't build up because it's like I can't if I'm not comfortable because
risky.
it's gonna turn off. Then I just
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
not
trying
gonna
to.
bury hours.
Dude,
into
Yeah.
you probably broke the game.
I'm just and the way I beat the last boss was just on some cheap shit. This shit took forever. I'm like because usually the battles last 7-8 rounds. This one lasted 36.
Oh gosh.
Only one character was able to hit him. What the? The person had like 11,000 energies, and this dude would take away 1,000 each time. So I'd have to keep building up. Wait. That's how cheap he was.
Patience.
Nobody could hit him. No one could take energy off him. It was like the biggest fuckery I've ever dealt with before. But
That's like the other game you played, right? What was the other strategy we'll
Ash
play?
of Gods, did I
Ash
stop
of
playing and I'm
Gods,
probably
yeah.
going to have to start over?
Not that one. Before that,
Oh,
it was
really?
PlayStation. I think a PlayStation game.
Oh,
It was like
yes,
there were
yes.
2 main
Yes.
characters. That were like
The
both
one boss
brothers.
where you almost gave up.
Oh, you're talking about Arc the Lad 2?
Arc the
Yeah,
Lad
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yes.
That was a regular one.
Yeah, the Arc the Lad 2, yeah, I almost quit that one.
I wanted to play that one actually.
It's
man.
also
And
it's an amazing game, but just
you
get ready for the
scared
last
me
boss.
from that
Get
game.
ready for
I didn't even touch it.
Get ready to be more mad than you've ever been before.
Is Regalia's boss like that?
No, because you could actually hit this boss in Arc the Lad 2. In Regalia, you can't hit him.
Was it
can't-
what you just need to gain like levels?
Well,
What's the
this
problem?
is what it is. Each person you attack, everyone has health points and armor points. And if you have more armor points, I have to take those off first before taking away your real energy. This guy just kept, every round, just kept getting more armor points. So I had to take those off, but I can't.
That's cheap.
I can't take them off. So, but there were some tricks that I looked up online that people were doing, but I didn't have the character for it because I don't know
find
why. So I'm like, how do I beat this character? But I had one character that just every time he did his special took away health points rather than armor points. So I said, well, this is the only guy that's gonna kill him, and I'm gonna sit here for a hot hour and do this bullshit ass this horrible routine and do it. And
But besides that, was the game good?
you know what's messed up? I really enjoyed the game. The charm, the art, the voice acting, the story, everything was awesome.
Now it's a Kickstarter, right?
And it was a Kickstarter, and it could have been better because of the glitches if they were ironed out, and if they let you use 6 characters instead of 4 in the battle, because enemies always have like 8 to 10, and I got 4 people. What kind of bullshit is that? Why can't I use 6?
Do your characters die permanently in that
No,
game?
no,
Hell no.
they'll die permanently. But
no permadeath.
they have so much charm in that game, so much, and they'll randomly in like dialogue, they'll throw in his voice acting, they'll throw in
Oh, God.
some grimy shit. They'll throw in some, they'll curse.
I like the
because
dialogue.
it's not a AAA title. You
Yeah.
can get away with more stuff.
Dude,
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
take
yeah.
me off guard. Like some dude said taint. Like some other guy's like, yeah, one time I had gonorrhea. I was like, what am I playing right now? Like this shit is crazy. Like it was wild. But the game, it could have been, if they do a sequel, I'll be excited for it because hopefully they'll fix all those things that were wrong with the first one.
Yeah.
But it was dope. I was glad I beat it. Other than that, I am playing Bloodstain Ritual of the Night.
Nice.
I'm 50% done with the game.
Wow.
Awesome game. Very, very awesome game. If you like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, it's right up your alley, except for that secret boss that's a piece of shit and should not be in the
It
game.
wasn't that hard, man.
Dude, you saw it.
He wasn't that
He was
hard.
dancing, he was crip walking in the background. And then he pops up and he kills me as soon as he appears. That makes
Dude,
no
you were
sense.
ill-equipped for the fight.
I don't want to hear it.
you didn't have the right.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Equipped for the fight.
So yeah,
Second time I saw him, I beat him.
So
the first time I fought him, it made sense. It's the second time it made no
You
sense.
just didn't understand. It's
But
fine. It's fine.
other than that, I'm also playing Smash Brothers. I've been playing a lot online lately because I've had time. Marth is almost elite status along with Ike. I'm just working on Ike, Marth, and Lucina, trying to get them to elite. After that, I'll go back to my other characters. But
Right, 3 fights from Elite.
for Marth, I'd probably say 3 fights. Ike, I would probably say 3 or 4. Lucina's not in the 7s yet, so she's got a little ways to go. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get that very, very soon. But yeah, I've been nasty lately, man. I ain't trying to pat my own back, but I've been pretty nasty in that game lately. You know?
Well, going back
you
to
just jinx yourself.
Regalia, Did that character who said that he got gonorrhea point out the NPC who gave him gonorrhea?
So moving on, let's now.
Yeah,
Right,
so,
we moved
so
on
yeah,
from that.
so right before we do the news, let's get these shots out the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat, by the way.
Shout
No
out
love.
to the chat.
What up,
yeah.
everyone in the chat? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Mike.
Mike.
Cheers.
We're celebrating
Cheers, Mike,
Fallen
man.
City Brawl. Fallen City Brawl.
that's right.
Cheers.
Cheers to Fallen City Brawl.
For those of you who don't know, that is a Kickstarter.
Dude, I poured less for you this time.
It's okay. It's okay. He's gonna live.
You
Maybe.
didn't pour less taste.
Maybe.
Jack.
Mike, if you don't notice, whenever we do shots, just look at Jay's face. It's always hysterical because he hates liquor
Sticks is.
and he's always in pain.
J, a.k.a. Sticks.
I'm not good with shots. I'll be from God, I'll be like leaning over this way, swaying.
Oh, you'll see it happen right
Stick
here.
with
Man.
the chair.
We are pros at it.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
harsh.
We got him crying.
If you're
over
watching
here.
and you're in the chat, let us know what you guys are drinking.
yeah,
Ever
hell yeah.
since quarantine started, my tolerance has skyrocketed.
Really?
No, same.
Well,
Same.
It's because there's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do but play games and drink. It's
Play
terrible.
video games and drink.
Or watch movies and drink.
Yeah. One or the
Eat
other.
dinner
Pick
and
one.
drink.
Always drink. Always
Drink.
Drink.
Yeah.
Water and alcohol. Okay.
All right.
So, on to the news.
Up to the news before people start thinking we got problems.
Boy, man.
We do.
We do.
Oh wait! Before you even go to the news, we didn't even ask Mike what
too
he's
late.
been playing.
Oh. Go back.
That's all right.
Go back.
Thank you.
Go back. Mike,
I've
go
been
sorry.
playing some Yakuza, Yakuza 0. So it's been out a little while, hasn't it, Yakuza 0? But I've gone back to it. I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of good kind of beat 'em up kind of action in Yakuza, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think there's something about the story as well. You know, it's quite engaging. It's a little bit crazy. Some strange twists, but it's a real drama. But it's a lot of fun, and it's just the kind of action and just the kind of if there's a game that's done a really good job of bringing that kind of 2D beat 'em ups into a 3D kind of environment, I think the Yakuza games get it pretty much spot on. It's been having a lot of fun with that. But also, you play Shadow of the Colossus at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, the remake of that. I dip into that kind of now and again. I just love the world. You know, it's a much slower paced kind of game, apart from obviously when you're kind of in the fights with the Colossus. But
It's a lonely world.
yeah, I always love to go back to that game. I just think it's fantastic. It's just wonderful to explore. You know, wonderful worlds. So that's what I've been playing mostly, and a bit of Fallen City Brawl, obviously.
It's funny. He's not the only guest who's named the Yakuza games, right? And I think even Sally, when we had her on, she talked about Judgment also. So I gotta get on these games. I only played the North Star Lost
That's
Paradise.
Sega, right?
It's
Yakuza?
Sega.
It's
Well,
Yakuza
it's
Sega, yeah.
Sega.
It's kind of like
Yeah, it is.
a shoot off
Judgment
from Shenmue.
looks really cool.
Yeah.
There's Virtua Fighter 5, I think is playable in Judgment in the arcade. Judgment.
They put part 5.
They put part 5 in there.
That's
So-
awesome.
5 was good.
Yeah,
5 is good.
Not bad.
I love it when games do that. It's just so cool. I
We
like
get-
it when
put-
Shenmue does it. They'll put like
A
some
nice
games
little
in
Easter
there.
egg
It's
that
so
they throw
cool
in
that you
there.
could.
I love that.
Yakuza is like the shooter from Shenmue.
Yeah.
Continue that whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's what people probably thought Shenmue 3 was going to kind of be like a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like
Expect-
Shenmue.
Expectations too
That's
high,
good.
man. You got to lower them a little bit.
They say the key to being a good game developer is having a great taste in games. So far, those are pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been telling this guy to play Shadow of Colossus for like 6 years.
It's going to happen.
He's like, I got it. I downloaded it. I downloaded it. That doesn't mean anything.
Bloodborne is on my PS4. It's going to get played.
That means
but, you know,
nothing.
I'm going to get it.
It means nothing. If you watch this, if you've seen this whole thing before, and it's going to happen. Next year, I'll be saying the same damn thing.
It's like when we tell Jay to play something, he's like, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do the same
said
thing.
one game.
Ash Jay,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
it.
said one game.
Luigi's Mansion 3, I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
one cares
Katana
about
Zero, you
Luigi's
got to play it,
Mansion.
man. It's an
No
awesome
one
game.
cares
I got
about
it.
Katana Zero,
Luigi's
I got
I
it.
got it.
None of y'all said
play
nothing
it?
about
Nah.
Luigi's Mansion.
You
Wow.
bought Dragon Ball on release and played it like twice.
I did. I played the tutorial, learned what it was, and let it go. That's your game.
Yo, let's just roast Jay. No, no, no.
Wow. Anyway,
Now let's get to the news.
let's get to the news.
All right.
All right. So, WB Games Montreal teasing.
Warner Brothers.
What?
Sorry. WB. Yeah.
Wow.
WB Games Montreal teasing potential Batman game announcement. So
All right.
that's what they've been doing this week. Apparently, it's something that they have planned for Friday.
The
So
22nd, right? I think.
Friday.
Yeah.
But if you're watching this later,
Friday's the 21st.
it's gonna happen. No, it's the
The
reveal.
fandom thing is
The
22nd,
reveal.
but oh yeah.
I'm talking about what they're revealing on the webpage. So they have a reveal that's going to most likely happen on Friday because they have a thing where you can put in a code on the webpage and it'll give you a map and a hint of kind of what they're trying to talk about. And so far, up till today, which is Wednesday, they've said that there's a hint that says something about the first appearance of Batgirl in the comic books. So probably have something to do with Batgirl in the game. And they said face to face is the other code. And face to face is
Two-Face.
probably what that means, and that's
Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
Harvey Dent.
So this is the long they've been hinting at this Batman game for a long time, which is
Probably like 3
maybe
years.
going to be Gotham Knight because we've done news on this before, and the two names that dropped were the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Gotham Knight, and those names, one of those names has been revealed to be real, so that means that Gotham Knight is probably what it's going to be called. I'm looking forward to it, and like I said, we still have a few more days to find out whether they'll drop a trailer for it or just a teaser. Probably going to be for the next systems,
Right.
Because it's very close to the end of these systems. I would think.
PS4 exclusive.
PS4.
I like PS4.
PS5
All right.
exclusive. I'm sorry.
I'm like, well, that's fine. At least it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
We own it
exclusive.
already.
We got that.
So I mean, I guess we could talk about both of the games since they announced it. What do you think of the Justice?
Well, they
the-
said Suicide Squad definitely is
the
one
Suicide
of them.
Squad.
Yeah,
Kill the
yeah.
Justice
Well,
League.
they've been talking about Batman Court of Owls, that whole rivalry or that whole storyline for the past 3-4 years. They've
Right.
been talking about that.
since the last game.
Yeah, where the game is
Since Arkham
everyone
Knight.
from the Batman family's selectable and all that stuff. And if that's the other one, then fuck, Batman games are awesome. I love them.
Yeah, man.
But I just hope this time around it's just not another Batman game. I just hope they implement ideas that were hinted in other ones, like co-op. They hinted at co-op in Arkham Knight. Let's get some co-op going.
It needs
with
to
that.
happen.
Let's
But
get
Rocksteady was Rocksteady's making the Suicide.
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 Rocksteady's making the Suicide Squad game, right? And then Montreal Studios making this one, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
how is the Batman? Don't you think?
Part
they
of me
should have done the
thinks-
Batman one, kinda.
Rocksteady, no. Warner Brothers did good with Origins, so
Yeah.
So you say.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It depends
Most
on
people
what-
hate on that because of the glitches.
Well,
but
it
other than
depends on
that, it
the-
was an awesome game.
Yeah, it was
It
an
was an
depends.
awesome game.
That
I
heat suit
have
was
to
fire.
just say this disclaimer because it depends on the system that you're playing it on. I played it on PS3. It was better on the 360. I had tons of glitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tons of glitches.
But most of the people that don't like or hate on the game is because of the glitches,
So
not
if they
because of
polished
how
it
it
up, it would
played.
still be
Yeah,
fun.
if
Yeah, no, it was a
if
great
there was
game.
no glitches, people would be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really dope game" because it was really fun.
Yeah, but the glitches were bad, man. I was like,
I didn't
it was like-
experience anything. Thank God.
I was I got to the point where I thought I had to play. I was about 60% through the game, and I thought I had to restart the whole freaking game
Because your
because
PlayStation was
stuck.
bad.
It was.
You had a bad PlayStation. Your hard
It's
drive
a brand new
was messed up.
PlayStation. Super slim.
Al, but that was more of a you problem. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh wow.
Could have been your controller.
No, but you know what?
I don't know.
Damn.
You know what though?
Something.
This whole
Blaming Montreal.
this whole teaser type of thing though. Part of me is like I'm excited for it. Whatever they announce. It's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
I just say it's
But
about time.
There's a little part of me that thinks, how funny would it be if they just threw all these teasers or whatever just as a way to like sidetrack everyone to just go left field with the whole
Mobile
with
game.
their game. No, not that bad. No,
Stop.
not
That's
bad.
not
No,
funny.
that's bad.
That
It'll
is
be a
not-
Batman
No, no,
game
no.
starring the Joker. As this is a big joke.
Yeah, I mean that's
killing
actually I would like that.
That's interesting.
If they made a Joker like where you play as a villain or something like that, because
That should be a mode.
Well, that's already just what. But that's already
Well, yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, you're
Well,
playing as villains,
yeah,
right?
pretty
Yeah.
much.
I guess yeah.
So, what do you think of all this? Other Batman games.
Are you excited, Mike, about Montreal
I think-
probably making the next Batman?
I I like the idea. I like the idea of Two-Face in a game. I think he's a great kind of character. I think it's kind of if they bring him out as a really, if they kind of build on the lore around him, it'll be great. I think I like the kind of the teaser kind of stuff they're doing. It's quite engaging. Maybe I should do something for that elevator stage for Fallen City Brawl. Elevate post on the website or something. But yeah, I like that kind of way of kind of hinting. It gets people excited. I guess the risk of it is if people are kind of getting the hopes up and then what they announce isn't quite what people wanted, But it's it's Batman, isn't it? You can't go wrong with Batman.
Yeah.
More Batman is a good thing.
Yeah,
especially with Two-Face, because Two-Face in the other games, he hasn't really been brought to
wasn't
the
a main
forefront.
guy.
He was just kind of like a side thing here and
Right,
there.
right.
He hasn't really
Yeah.
been a main bad guy in these games. And if he was like one of the main ones in the game, that'd be pretty cool because he's always robbing banks.
Right.
So stopping
Right.
stopping a bank robbery is always fun as Batman.
Yeah,
That,
of course.
that
That's
never
what he
gets
did.
the
In
time.
Arkham he did that, right?
yeah.
Wasn't that to
Arkham
stop-
City.
Arkham City.
Arkham Knight, he was in.
Actually,
too.
yeah,
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight also.
Yeah. had to stop
on
the
some
bank
side
robberies.
shit.
You had to
though,
stop
right?
bank robberies.
Yeah.
But
But,
I mean, his character's more interested in that, obviously, and they have to dive into it.
If they had him in the Court of Owls, that's fine.
But at any rate, though, each game they always build upon they build upon the last one. So the
What sucks is
original
if you
one.
kill anyone, they can't be in the next game because they're following the same storyline.
Yeah, but
Kind of.
Good thing he has a lot of enemies.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it's a prequel though.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it
the next
smells
one's
like
a
a pequel.
A pequel.
Pequel.
It smells like a pequel.
What's a pequel?
Not a prequel. It's different than a prequel. It's before a prequel.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
Is that a
prequel.
type of vegetable?
Some
It's a prequel within a prequel. What?
But I really, really hope that they do. If they do co-op, they bring back obviously the Batmobile. They add the cycle also, but don't have it. No tank mode. Just for traveling.
yeah.
Get rid.
They
Tank
love
mode.
that tank mode
There
too
was
much.
some fun parts about the tank mode, but I want to drive around to where I gotta go and
Batwing.
pop out it. And that's
Batwing.
it. Batwing. Whatever.
I say add that.
No, you won't need action with that.
Yeah.
You don't need no action. I mean, occasionally if someone's on the road, you want to shoot them or whatever. They're trying to stop you from going to your destination. That's cool, but
The
no,
chase.
we don't need no tank mode.
Well, the thing about them taking this long, teasing it, is expectations are being risen every second.
It's dangerous.
Of course.
So
my
hopefully they deliver.
My only complaint with it being a prequel would be there's not going to be any Red Hood if they have the rest of the Bat family in there.
It would be what would be like Jason Todd, right?
Yeah.
Like Robin Jason Todd.
Get rid of Red Hood. You don't
Unless
need
Dick
him.
Tracy.
I kind of want Damian Wayne though.
Dick Tracy.
Yo, kept Dick Tracy's not in Batman.
Dick Grayson.
All right. He said, "Yo,
I'm
Dick
so
Tracy."
lost. What?
Kev said Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy's
even
not in
DC.
Batman.
He said Dick
Dick
Tracy,
Tracy.
but he meant to say
I can
Dick
see
Grayson.
Two-Face and Dick Tracy, though.
Yeah, yes,
Exactly.
yes, I can.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I can. You gotta put up a graphic.
So
You
stupid.
gotta put up a graphic
He
for
just
that.
made more work for you.
I will. I'll do
Oh,
it.
man.
But yeah,
But
man.
co-op is mandatory for it though. Co-op has to happen.
I
Make
agree.
it happen.
I agree. They need to do something different to shake up
It'll be
the
nice.
franchise.
I want the Red Hood in that game.
It would be nice.
Why I
to
like
get
Red
this
Hood
out.
so much?
Because he kills people.
Dope. He's dope.
Watch it be the straight to mobile.
Tim Drake's bad.
Let me start.
It'll be Batman. It'll be Batman and Robin. That's all you need.
It's gonna be a free to play
Straight to
mobile.
no. No.
Microtransactions,
No.
everything you name it, they're gonna just.
No.
But yeah, man. Just
I have high hopes for the game.
but yeah. I mean,
It's
either
not
way,
co-op.
I'm gonna
No,
cop
no.
it. So
Yeah.
it's going down.
I'm joking.
Co-op's gotta
I'm
happen.
excited for it, man. I can't wait.
I actually
Batmobile's
been
got
dying to play Arkham Knight recently with the 1989 Michael Keaton outfit again. Yeah. The black outfit's not ill. That's amazing.
and the music.
If it
and
makes
the
it
music.
in,
and the music.
you know how
and the
hard it was-
Batmobile.
You know how hard it
Looks
was to
good,
get in
man.
that game? Took
Yeah,
forever.
imagine.
Nah, they
Can
won't
I
let-
say something? No, I do miss that in video games. Like nowadays, in this generation, like you can't add
your
your
own
own
music in?
music or your own.
It has to be Spotify.
It has to be through Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't.
They want to make that money, man.
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 No, thank you.
You can't put your own stuff.
I want to
Man.
make my own music.
Yo,
and
my
put it up.
soundtrack and some of my old Xbox 360 games were fire. I had
I
Linkin
know,
Park
man.
on everything. I mean, come on, man.
Hopefully they
Phil
bring
Collins.
that back in the new systems.
Phil
I don't
Collins,
Yeah, Phil
Assassin's
Collins
Creed.
in
I
there.
mean, come on, man. Air the Night. Like, what's good?
I digress. Anyway,
Let's move on.
On to the next.
All right. Nintendo Indie World, August 18th, showcase highlights 14 Switch games.
Yeah.
know. Yes.
So they had like a 20-minute indies, but they used to call it Nindies.
Nindies.
But they changed that. They changed that.
Why they
Just
change
named Nintendo Indie World now.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They fired the guy who.
But the indie people.
Imagine that was
Well, if these games.
Guess we won't use that hashtag.
If these are different, if they're for other systems, then you don't want to be Nindies. If it's just for Nintendo, then yeah. But if it's for everything, you want to market your stuff on Steam and other systems. You don't want to be called Nindies. So I can understand why they wanted to change this to Nintendo Indie World.
Ninja and the Jones.
No.
Go ahead.
Wow.
No.
Right.
No.
That was a
So,
stretch. That was a stretch.
so overall, people seem to be excited about this, and I'm happy to see that because you know how people are with the Nintendo Directs. So
awful.
there's a lot more positivity involved in this one.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
surprisingly,
They had some titles that stood out. The thing I like about the indies is you never know what it looks like. You never know what type of game it's going to be. There's a lot more freedom to do what you want to do. And it reminds me of like the 16-bit days where you didn't know what type of game was going to come out.
right.
With AAA games, it's always so much money involved in it. They have to
Presentation.
make it a certain way to do that. It has to be a Hollywood movie. You know exactly that you're
The
going to
games
get
are advertised
cutscenes.
like a movie.
Yeah. But these games, you can get something like there was a game called Card Shark.
Oh yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
It's
Actually,
about cheating in cards, and I was like, "This is a game about cheating in cards." And when they catch you cheating, they will blast you in the face. And I was like, "Wow, that looks funny." If you're gonna have a game as simple as that, and you made it look interesting, I'm pretty happy about
so I
that.
don't play cards.
But as far as like just the graphical undertones of these games, they just look so weird.
Yeah.
Like the fantasy.
Did you
games.
see?
What's that?
Sorry to interrupt. Did you see Bear and Breakfast? I think it's called.
Yes.
Where
Yes.
you're a bear and you run like a bed and breakfast.
You got to build up.
You've got to make.
You have to
Where do these concepts come from?
If I'm honest,
Bear and
I
breakfast.
think it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It just sounds really interesting.
It actually,
I like
the
that.
trailer did look interesting.
These
Because-
concepts are hilarious.
It was
I think it's psychedelics.
Well, it was a crappy place you had to build up. I was like, okay, a lot of people love the management type games now. I mean, either you're farming, or you're building, or you're,
There was a lot of farming ones. There
There's
was
a
like
lot.
three. There was like three of them in there.
What
But-
about? Oh,
But then they hit you with that it was a bear
Yeah.
inviting these people, and they're like, oh yeah, the people come out, and if you go in the forest, you might run into things that are trying to kill you or whatever. I'm
Right.
like, what the hell is this game? What
Yeah.
is this? But the
Yeah.
concept was interesting, as out there as it was. Being a bear fixing a house for people to live in makes perfect sense somehow.
There was another game in the eShop, indie eShop recap that we had we recorded. We did a live reaction of, and it was what was it? It was something about humanity. Like you were an alien experimenting on humans.
Yep.
And they had to do like different tests. Like,
Oh, that was a
you had
mess.
to, you had to like have
Oh,
them
it was a hot
procreate.
mess.
So they put them in the jar, and they were like procreating.
Yeah,
and
they're all like.
Then they had them on humans on like a hamster wheel. It was weird.
It was.
Those
It was.
games are all
It was
weird.
out there, man.
But
But it
It's-
looked interesting.
another one that's weird was Manifold Garden. I'm pretty sure
We have
that's
the code.
something
No,
that
we have
you
we
would
have, we
play.
have the code. We have the code for
Yes.
it.
For that
actually.
one?
I contacted the guy. Well, he hit us up, and
That's
I'm like,
an Alvin.
and I said, "This guy's."
no,
gonna,
I
I said,
I saw-
I showed you.
you
I was
showed
like,
me
I
yesterday,
said, "This
yeah.
guy's gonna like that."
Yeah,
Instantly,
no.
I'm like, "He's
I
gonna
looked
like
at it.
this.
I was like,
Because there's
I'm gonna love it.
staircases, there's flippable puzzles. and I
It's
was
so
like,
beautiful,
Oh
though.
man,
It's a
that
beautiful
looks like
looking
it's gonna
game.
mind fucking
I am the
bad.
puzzle guy, man. I'm the puzzle game guy. I love it.
No, you'll
It
love
looks
that.
like
I love
your
it. I
brain
love
is
Portal.
going
It's
to
one of
melt.
my favorites. Huh?
It looks like your brain's gonna melt during.
Oh, I from watching the trailer, I was like, oh yes, I can see it. I can see it. I'm
Looked
like, okay,
polished. It definitely looked
Yeah,
polished.
it
All
looked
right.
good.
looks really good though.
And they had a game that reminded me of Ori. It was Evergate.
I forget.
That was when you're a little
Yes.
like white little
Yes.
puffball guy, and
Yeah.
you like shoot yourself across the screen. It was definitely like I could definitely say that I was inspired by some type of Ori type look. But the art was cool. A lot of those games, a lot of indie games do go that route.
Right.
But it looked interesting, though. There was another one they had.
Yeah, they're a lot.
Why don't we
they were
just
so
say the
different.
ones? Why don't we just go around and
I'm not
talk
gonna go
about the
through
ones?
everything. I'm
Yeah,
just
we'll
gonna
just
go
talk the
through-
ones that stood out to you.
There was one that stood out, but it just looked like the frame rate was a little
Janky.
janky in the trailer. But you can't always go by the trailer.
Yeah.
You gotta play the game.
Right.
But Raji, and
I like
Ancient
that.
Epic. Raji and Ancient Epic.
That
That
looked good.
I was surprised because I was so waiting for them to call it the the Princess of Persia. I was so waiting. I was like, this is definitely the Princess of Persia. Why wouldn't you call it that at all? But you know, obviously it's not Ubisoft, but it looked like it could have been called that if they went that way.
And look, I liked it. I watched that for a minute. And I'm like, this looks pretty cool.
It looked like that could be a standout from
definitely
from the whole set.
Absolutely.
The Prince of Persia's sister. No,
Exactly. But it did look a little. The frame rate looked a little janky in the
Clean it a
trailer.
little bit. That's all.
Yeah. So
Reminded me a little of Ico. You remember
Yeah.
Ico?
Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
Reminded me a little of that with the kind of platforming and the kind of just
I like that.
kind of quite smooth kind of the way that the kind of character moved and
no, it looked like it could be a
kind
good
of
game.
moody kind of atmosphere in the backgrounds as well. Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, it was like Ico and Ico of Persia.
Echo. Persia.
Oh man.
And then they had another game there that I wanted to be real, but I knew it wasn't. Like the graphics, the way they brought it out, it looked like they were like claymation. It was Takeshi and Hiroshi.
Oh, I like that. That was
But-
cool.
But I wish that the game looked like. I'm waiting for a game to have the graphics like that. Now they can do it. I know they
that
can.
was pretty. I like
to make
that.
it look like
that was
direct,
charming.
To make it look
looked
like
good.
direct freaking claymation. I'm waiting for that in the whole game. I want the whole game to look like that.
That was
So
charming.
next generation.
It was charming.
Coming soon.
I liked it. I liked
I'm
it.
sure somebody's working on it.
Yeah, it kind of disappointed me when they switched to the regular style. All
Right.
right, and I was like, man, damn it! I really wanted to see
They
something
were showing
really
like the
different.
attacks
looking.
and
Yeah,
I was like,
but it looked good. Though.
I
It looked good.
like the way
Next
that
gen.
looked.
Next gen.
I'm waiting next gen for that.
Next gen will do it. They'll do it.
I want Yoshi's Island look like that.
Yoshi's
That
Island.
I do
actually
it
would be cool.
completely claymation like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the standout. It was a game that I called out right from the beginning. I was like, "This is Sports Story," and I was like, "Nah, it's not though." But it's Garden Story because it looked like Golf Story.
Yes.
But
Yes,
it
yes,
was
yes.
about farming, and I was like,
Yo,
"Yeah, there's a lot of games like
A
farming."
lot of these, they're trying to bank on this Animal
they make
Crossing
money.
type shit.
They make money.
They love it. They
Trying
love
to get
it.
this peaceful games going.
Yeah.
What's
Nah,
that
there's no
other
violence.
farming simulator that one developer?
Moon?
Stardew.
Oh no, Stardew
No,
Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew
That's it.
Valley.
Started.
They're banking.
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
They,
off
there's
that.
one guy that did that.
He can hire a whole team now.
Yeah, right?
He's like, nah, I want all the money.
Yeah.
Fuck the whole team.
I'll make the other game. I'll make a sequel.
He's a
Myself.
he's
I'm not hiring nobody.
That's what Mike is doing. He's the whole team.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He's like, give me all the money.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Do you like talk to yourself like as like you're the boss and then you're like, oh yeah, get back to work. All right.
Break time's over.
I don't want to work.
Split
Okay, you don't
personality.
have to then. All right.
Clocking out early today.
And then they ended it. I mean, those are the big titles that we
Right.
could talk about. But then they ended it with the. I was like, they showed a bunch of little games, or ones without bigger trailers. And then I was like, oh, it's not over. That can't be the end right there. And then you hear this goose sound, and I was like, oh,
that was
hell
hilarious.
yeah,
That
this
was
gotta
funny.
be. This is how they ended.
That was pretty
And then
funny.
they introduced multiplayer co-op, 2 players on Goose Game.
Yes.
So
It was
Goose
pretty
Game.
funny.
Untitled Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game 2.
They did a good job on that trailer because he's like barking at him like, bang, bang,
It's
bang.
so
And he's like
annoying.
this, and the other guy's like, pops out of nowhere. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this second goose.
And that's a free download. Free download.
That's awesome.
That's
You
awesome.
forgot about the first one they showed though. It was pretty cool. Even though it's a roguelite. I forgot the name of it.
It is a
Hades.
roguelike.
Hades.
It was
Hades. Yeah, that
Hades
one was
looked
pretty
good,
cool.
but you know roguelike turns itself completely
Yeah.
about the game.
And then you know what's
But
messed
it
up?
looked like Transistor or whatever, right?
Yes.
Looked like that, and it looked like another game they did. But
Diablo.
But Transistor
man,
wasn't.
not Diablo at all.
Transistor
It was
wasn't,
it was a faster it was a faster pace.
like a faster pace
It looked
transition.
cool action, but as soon as they said roguelite, I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, it did have a good concept though, because
Yeah.
you every time you die, you start back in hell, and you have to get back out of it.
it makes roguelite makes sense for that
For that
concept.
thing,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
And it looked fun.
Yeah,
And I
cool.
heard that people who did play it, because it's available on the PC right now, not completely done. It's like an
Beta?
alpha stage or whatever,
Right.
or the beta. I don't know what's the difference, but
Master.
no, it's not. master.
Man, stop it.
But it's not released yet, but you can play it on the PC. And people who have played on the PC said it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look cool. I would play it. But
did look like
depending on like
Transistor.
what's saved when I die. Like I hate that shit.
Roguelikes.
So if,
Yeah.
if the only games in your collection are called Hades and Diablo, people are gonna be like, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?"
Hell.
True. But Turbo, you could agree with the Children of Mortar. They did roguelite very well.
Yeah, because
They did it very well.
There was real progression. Once you pass the stage, it was done.
Yeah, it was done.
Yeah.
But if you die in the same thing,
You know
do it
what?
over, which is fine.
That's
but you
fine.
keep the gold, you keep all that stuff, and that's how it should be.
I stopped playing Dead Souls. I know a lot of people love this game, but
And it's an awesome game.
Dead Cells is awesome. It controls great, plays great, satisfying.
He sounds so beaten by it too. He just sounds beaten.
I just wish that it wasn't a rogue like game, man. I just really do.
Well,
It's
if you can
die,
keep-
you get all these cool, especially when you get a cool weapon.
Yeah, I can't
And then
do
you
that.
you lose it all and you start from the beginning. And
I
I'm
can't
like,
do that.
If you can keep your powers and
Yeah.
your levels and like actually feel stronger while you're doing it, I can see how it can get it
dude,
done.
That'd be
I
fine.
saw. I was just for the shits and giggles. I just looked up like how long it takes to beat the game. It's an hour and like 30 minutes. And I'm like, are you serious? Because I've been playing this for like a month and I can't fucking beat this game. I can't beat this game. The farthest I got was like, I think there's like 6 stages in the whole game.
That's like Ninja Gaiden
And
1.
I got up to like, farthest I got was like the 4th stage. And I
It's an
died off
hour.
of some stupid shit.
It's an
I
hour
was
long.
just like,
You can't get through it. It's an hour long.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
if you
so,
if you get by each stage in Ninja Gaiden 1, it's an hour.
It's literally an hour.
I need to see like a
first roguelike.
cardiologist right after. Gotta go to my doctor like after. It's like, hey, can you check my heart, man?
Mike, what else? What else stood out to you in it?
I think, aside from the bear and Raji, there was a lot of. I think for me, it was just they were the 2 highlights for me because, but the kind of Raji game, I think, because of that link to Ico, and I love Ico. I think it's a brilliant game. It seems to be quite influenced by that. But I think there was something about the kind of Nintendo highlighting indie games and really putting a lot of effort and putting them front and center of a lot of the work they're doing for me. So there's something about just pulling all those games together and making something that was, and like you say, I think people's reactions have been really positive, and it's just good to see kind of indie games getting that kind of profile, because I think it can be really difficult without a budget for kind of marketing and promotion to compete with some of those kind of AAA. So I think for Nintendo to be pushing that is a really positive thing, and building such a kind of positive vibe around it. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. I just the bear and the bear and breakfast is for me. I'm there day one.
Bear and breakfast.
I gotta admit, I was kind of sold on that too. man. I was like, wow, this
hilarious.
looks.
When they showed the evil wolf, I was like, oh yeah, nah, this gotta get, this might get some run. This might get some run.
That's hilarious.
Somebody's out to eat you in the fire. Oh nah,
Yeah.
I gotta see what this is about.
Yeah, I was intrigued.
There's a wolf in Fallen City Brawl that can
Yes.
like tear up the enemy, but I'm thinking maybe I need to bring in a bear to go along.
That'll be another tier. That'll be another
DLC, that'll
Kickstarter.
be
Yeah,
DLC.
that's DLC. We gotta get a
Yeah,
bear up in there
Just add it to your Kickstarter tier.
with a
that's all.
bandana
A bear Daniel.
and Timberlands.
A bear Dana.
Yo, a bandana. There you go.
bandana.
With a bandana and Timberlands.
Don't push that. That's awful.
Dude, that was trending 2 seconds, dude. Come
Anyway.
on, man. We got ideas.
Moving on. All right. So, Fall Guys developer warns players of mobile version scam.
Oh dear.
So you guys heard of Fall Guys, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much everything on the internet is talking about
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
It's all
right
Fall
now.
Guys.
It looks fun though.
Yeah, it does look
It's
fun.
very fun looking.
It does
It's
look
very
fun.
fun. It is taking over the airwaves.
Yes.
Everywhere. Every streamer. It's the streamer's game of the year.
This
right
is the Fortnite of this year.
now. What's Fortnite?
Exactly.
Scoop for
Exactly.
I'm still playing that. So
I don't know. We'll get to that next week. But Fall Guys definitely looks like a fun game. Simple to the point of it doesn't take too much to do it, but hard enough to not be able to just be like, I can destroy this game.
Yeah.
And it's you don't you still don't have a full control or understanding of what's going on in the game at any
Purposely.
moment, because people can just trample you. You're like, I don't know
Purposely.
what's happening right now.
Doors don't open.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? The store don't open? What?
Your
Oh.
timing's off. Over.
Yeah.
It kind of
Yeah,
reminds me of like, what is it? The what's the ninja game?
Ninja Warrior?
Ninja Warrior, yes. American Ninja Warrior.
If
It
everyone
reminds
was
me
out of shape,
something like that, but it doesn't require any dexterity at all.
Yeah.
you don't have to be in shape. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
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 But the 60 players versus, and you're trying to be number one. That's an awesome premise
Yes.
without shooting everybody down. It's
Yes.
cool to see something that's not violent like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can grab,
I'm joking.
you can grab people, you can throw them off stuff.
Just some grimy people, dude.
But you can't hit them, you can't
Grimy
slap
people.
them and stuff. But yeah, they are grimy people who just wait at the finish line. Like, no, you can't do it, and then they play you. But people always find some way to be an asshole and everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They always
Well,
ruin
it brings out the worst in humanity. And you can see it visually in the game. You're like, oh god.
Like the scam here. So
yeah.
they're trying to say that there's an online version on your phone that you can download in an app. And if you do that and you sign in, bad things happen. so
that's fucked
so
up.
the developers had to say, do not go on your phones and download anything that says Fall Guys because
There's nothing
we
like
are
that.
not making anything for that. It's only for PlayStation 4 right now and Steam. So, you know,
Wow.
the kids will fall for it. Kids will be like, "Oh, this is the
Hell
game." This is the
yeah.
game.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
on here and search Fall Guys.
Hell
Boom.
yeah.
Every parent's phone is like hacked now.
Oh yeah.
Fucked up.
And they don't
man.
know. They don't know about it because they
fucked
deleted the
up.
game or whatever because it's
It
not
is-
really a game.
It's fucked up.
That's not cool.
I haven't even seen like an imitation of it. You think you've seen an imitation of something like this online?
They're working on it.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, I'm
They're
sure
working
the
on it.
developers working on it.
They're
The
working on it.
copycats. Yeah.
And we've been trying to get this on our channel too. It's hard because getting 4 people and broadcasting it and putting it online is
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
tough.
hassle.
That's
It's tough.
gonna
But
be tough.
We do
We're
couch
gonna
co-op
try.
though. We
We're
do
gonna try.
couch
This
co-op.
isn't couch co-op. Yeah, it isn't couch co-op, which is a problem. But we'll figure out a way to get on the channel. But it won't be from a mobile version.
Hell no.
No.
That's for sure.
No.
Mike, did you play this?
I haven't played it. It looks a lot of fun. I've seen the videos. I think when you mentioned Ninja Warrior before, I'm just thinking how good that would be if they made all the contestants go at once through Ninja Warrior like this, you know? And you'll have to just get to the end, but, like pushing each other out of the way. But I like it. It looks really cool. It looks collaborative as well as being competitive, you know. And it's that balance, isn't it? Getting that. It looks really good. It looks got good fun. So I haven't played it yet, though.
Hey, that's a good pitch for a new show.
Oh god! Yeah, all at the same time.
60 people doing
Yeah.
one obstacle course, everyone just shoving each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
someone's gonna
Just
get their head
Fall
stomped out.
Guys.
If you made
live
Fall
version.
Guys the live show,
Yeah,
yeah.
Fall
if you
Guys
made it
live.
the same way, if you got to run into those stupid doors and they don't
Yeah.
open, you could do that with a bunch
Just
of
make an
people.
obstacle course like that, and
There'll be broken arms and
Oh,
legs.
people will get hurt.
I mean, they'll,
People
you know,
would definitely get
there'll be
hurt.
lawsuits, but
hurt.
you know, hey, it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. We're in a quarantine right now. We need entertainment.
You'll see people get clotheslined in the water. Like, there's definitely going to be some violence.
Yeah, it's like
Especially
a
near the end.
5K obstacle race.
EMTs on
Yeah.
standby.
People just not, instead of people helping each other, they're just
You climb a rope.
competing.
Person on the top will slide down on everybody.
Yep.
You're like, no, what are you doing? What are you cheating for?
People get messed up, dude.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not a good idea.
That's just dangerous.
It's great to watch.
Sounds
It'll be
like fun.
great to watch.
I'll check it out though.
Oh, hell yeah. Number one show on TV. Number one. NBC, I hope you're listening.
Any of you major
Heard it here
networks.
first.
Oh, man.
Major networks.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
But I guarantee there'll definitely be a couple of people who will have a Fall Guys ripoff of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, that's fine.
It's
And,
always
and
the
add
case.
little maybe 2 or 3 things to it that's a little different than Fall Guys. Like, you know, while you're running through the obstacle course, there'll be weapons. Like,
Jeez.
like that'd be pretty cool though. If you add like the corny little weapons just to knock people away from you, I mean that'd be pretty cool.
Well, it's just like, all right, even though it's a different type of game, but you know a game is
Magic.
Like, yeah, well, you know a game is good when you get a bunch of copycats copying you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Overcooked,
Overcooked is a multiplayer.
It started its own
Co-op
genre,
game.
basically.
Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Simulation.
But it started a genre. Like,
Yep.
Fall Guys kind of like started its own.
In that type of sense,
It-
besides it being.
well, I
like
mean, it
a
just came out,
non-shooter- a non-shooter freaking, what's it called?
A non-shooter.
Non-shooter.
Non-shooter Fortnite, whatever, the arena type games.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you heard what they're doing also, right, with it?
No.
So they have a charity event type thing, and people are, bringing money in to get a costume in to the game. So whoever wins this charity event gets to put their costume in. So people put in $100,000 to put in their costume.
Whoa,
And then
damn.
they're pushing it up higher and higher. These are companies. But, a lot of people are using that to get their name mentioned, knowing that they're not going to win. So they just want to be in the, in the
involved in
paper.
it. Yep,
So
of
they're like,
course.
yeah, we're putting this. We're not going to have to spend anything.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to get all this publicity.
Yeah, yeah.
And then somebody's going to throw in more money and take over. We don't care. We're out.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But
Yeah,
Mr. Beast, I think, was saying that he wanted to just throw in a bunch
Oh, of
to win
course.
that whole thing.
Of course. You
But
do.
I have yet to see where that leads. But it's cool that it's going to go to charity and stuff. So it's a cool idea. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole ecosystem of just putting in costumes in this game. You kidding me? Because everybody's like a basic blob.
Yeah.
So the more costumes they get in there, it's endless money. So that's an endless revenue right
It's all
there.
positive, man. It's
Right
all,
now it's
all good.
positive. But I mean, it's good for the company, obviously.
No,
They're
it's
gonna add
great
it.
for the company.
But the
and
grubbers,
it's
the
all
grubbers
positive.
will come out.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. But,
Yeah.
if it's a
I don't-
dollar
I
a
don't
suit,
think it
I mean, if it's cool, I'll do it. Whatever. I'm definitely going to play the game, though. Definitely fun.
I'm like, I actually want to give it a shot too.
I think I would do very well in that.
You think?
Dude,
We're all going to watch.
Oh,
dude,
boy.
I'm
You know
nasty.
that.
Dude, I'm nasty.
You know what we could
with
do?
that, man.
You know what we could do? We could do
Nasty.
a not a versus, but we could do a
Challenge?
and not a co-op. Yeah,
Challenge.
challenge.
Yeah, who can go?
Where we
first?
can all sit in the couch and we can all try.
Who does the best?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still want to
See
get
how
the
far we
4-player
can
going.
get.
I still want to see how we can do that because we can
See
do
how-
it. We
see-
figured out very difficult things for multiplayer, way more than that, so we can figure it out.
Yeah, we can figure this
Yeah,
out.
well, we'll see how how
it
far
goes.
we get.
See how it goes.
Can we do a versus? Would that be
Yeah, you
considered a
can.
versus?
It's
If
Yeah,
all
it's a
four of
versus.
us
If we
are
all play.
involved, that's a versus.
Yeah.
So you get a shot and you do it, and then when I get a
That
shot,
can be
and
a.
you do-
That
and
can
then
be
we
a.
can take turns. And
Yeah, that could be a versus.
let us know what you think in the chat, man, or in the
Y'all want to see
comments.
that happen somehow?
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Spoiler alert! I'm probably gonna get the crown.
No, you're not.
No.
Well, I'm
gonna
just
get the-
brainstorming. I'm just brainstorming.
I'm gonna get the king hat.
the king. It's a crown, man.
I'm gonna
It's a
get
crown.
the king hat.
The king hat.
He calls it
I
the
like
king
that.
hat every
Exactly.
time. Why?
I'm,
Why?
I'm definitely merching. I'm merching that, man. That's going to be a hat. And it's going to be a shirt.
You don't even know what you want it to
Yeah.
be.
Because
Yeah.
it's a lot of money for a hat. It's going to be
Oh,
a
boy.
crown shirt.
It's going to be nothing.
crown
Wow.
Yes, you can fold it up and put it on your head. I don't care how you do it.
Oh man!
It's just cheaper that way.
I
It's
can't.
cheaper that way.
I can't.
So anyway,
I have nothing to say.
Wow.
You know we hit it big when you see the king hat as a hat. There you go.
I have to apologize to our guests.
Mike is fine. Mike is fine.
Mike is like, what did I sign for?
Don't apologize.
No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm only kidding, man. We're going to our moving on to
Yes,
our last
please. Let's move on to the last bit of news, please.
Apple is terminating Epic's developer account over Fortnite App Store in protest. This is major news. Major news. So, what Apple likes doing is making money. they're the first company to have $2 trillion in their revenue.
Yes.
It's
Jeez.
crazy. It's crazy.
Jeez.
And this is why. Because they get a cut of everything, everywhere, all the time.
Steve Jobs is like, yes, I'm even rich in.
They
heaven,"
can't
or
even spend. They can't even spend the amount of money they make.
grave.
They can't do
No,
it.
not in a lifetime.
They can't do it. No.
Not in
even.
like 10 lifetimes. 20.
If you said try and spend more than you make.
Yeah.
It's not happening. I continuously make money.
Trillion?
I can't go in my pocket fast enough.
You can spend, spend $1 million a day. You still have.
So what Apple does is they take 30% of all these developers. Everything that they make is
Yeah.
basically 30% of what they can do
Yeah.
in the market. What Epic did is they found a way to put in their own ecosystem inside the app to make you buy directly from them and not Apple. And Apple was like, no, because if you guys do it, everyone's going to do that, and that's going to ruin their stream of money. And obviously, you're not going to be cool with that. So they took Fortnite right out the App Store. And then Google followed suit and took them out the App Store also because they tried it over there too.
Damn.
So I don't know whose side I'd really be on. I mean, them scamming to get the sales through themselves and trying to get over with it. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to give a little bit to
Yeah, you gotta
these
give
companies for
something.
doing it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they took them off completely, I mean, Android is like, I don't care. I just sideload that and put
Right.
it in. I can get this game anyway. But
Right.
you know, regular little kids ain't gonna do that. So they're gonna try and download it from the store, and it's not there anymore.
Right,
For
not
Apple,
Apple.
there's no control over that. I mean, you could do it there too, but very much harder.
The APK file is hard
Easy.
to.
No, APK files easy to find, but not for Apple.
No, not for, I'm saying for Apple, it's
yeah, it's a
not,
totally
it's not
different
an
thing.
easy thing to get.
So it's pretty much gone if you don't have it on your phone already. And as big as a game that is for Epic, that's hurting them a lot. They said, Apple's like, oh no, we'd like to have them. We'd like to have that back on the store. You just have to submit something that's not going to rob us, and
Yeah.
let.
Epic must have. I think Epic must have known, mustn't they? They must have known that Apple would react like this, And I wonder what their long game is like.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I think they had their legal guys kind of on the button for when kind of Apple retaliated. Epic's legal guys were like, boom, within an hour, I think, kind of putting injunctions in. And I just wonder, they must have known that by doing that, they were gonna get Apple upset,
Oh, yeah.
They can't be too surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to
Scam the system.
not trying to scam the system, but they're trying to renegotiate more so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because they know they're going to have to get this back in there. And they're like, listen, we do 15%. You can have us back. We'll do, because everything Epic will be out of the store. Like,
Right.
they won't deal with this company anymore
Right.
if that's the
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, they're gonna pull everything.
So they're going to have to renegotiate, or they're going to have to change something about this thing now because they have to say because there's nothing to gain from them losing and putting this out and be like, okay,
No.
yeah, we're off Apple now. We're not going to get any more money. Obviously, they have to get back on Apple. You know how many phones that is? You know how much that ecosystem is for that company?
Well, I mean, Android has the market share though. They have the 70% or something like that. Like they have the majority of the market share.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
For the world, yeah.
For the world.
The amount of money they're going to lose from this, just to say, they're not going to
I
say,
get it.
let's change this function
get
in
what
here
you're
to
saying.
lose everything.
I get it.
They're going to say, listen, all right, you want us back? Let's do some talking.
I get it, but they have their own ecosystem in the Android. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they're going to give it a shot.
But-
I think they're going to give it a shot to try and change how Apple does their business.
Right.
If not, then they'll say, okay, you win. And then
Yeah.
we'll put it back in. I think that was what they're going to do overall. They're not going to really lose anything from this because they're going to give in if Apple doesn't give in.
unless
feels
Fall-
like
oh, sorry.
it feels like it's kind of risky for the developers with the kind of Unreal Engine as well, because I think they may have kind of games kind of due to launch or that they're in development for, and they'll be looking at that and thinking, oh my god, my entire market or a big chunk of it is going to be cut off. And I know Epic has said like, well, this 30% cut is not fair on developers, which is it's a big chunk, but I wonder if those developers are feeling now, well, look, you're pulling the rug here out from under us a little bit.
Because Apple
It's
said,
a kind of nerve-wracking time if you're kind of working on that with that engine a little bit.
I can imagine.
No, because they said they'll pull the rug on anyone using the Unreal Engine, and that's a lot of
That is
people,
a-
especially for indie games. Unreal Engine is super popular for them, and if they say we're not accepting anything from Unreal Engine, your market is destroyed.
That sucks.
And a lot of indie developers, like you said, will be very, very pissed.
On that note, yeah.
So they can't go through
Okay.
the way they want to, unless they make their own. Like, I mean, Apple own, like, they really. So they made the product. Yes, they made the product that has a store on it, and everybody's gonna be like, yeah, they made it. They gave you the option to sell it in there. Without them, you can't market it the way you want to.
Right.
But if Epic says, okay, we'll just make how they made their own game store on the PC instead of on Steam.
Right.
They're gonna be like, listen, we'll make our own app store on Apple.
The Epic Games.
And as long as we can get it in your app store, then they'll just have to go in there and buy stuff. But then they'll still get the same cut. I don't know how that'll work
Yeah.
as far as how much cut Apple
Or
will
like,
get from that. Because it'll probably be the same exact
30%.
way.
like Origin.
Yeah, they have to
they're
make their
still,
own thing.
they-
But if it's on their phone, they're still going to get the same cut. So I don't know what
Yeah.
the end game is for this.
Yeah, it's confusing, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they're doing some crazy stuff, man. Remember they said, what was it? We can go into a little bit more news on this. Apple said that you cannot use, what was it? The Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass.
Yes.
They said that
Yeah.
you're not allowed to use that on our phone at all.
Yeah.
So only on Android right now, and PC obviously. But that's big. That's big because they said every game that is going through that system to stream has to go through Apple's
Quality
you know,
control.
yeah, basically their grading system.
Yeah.
And I was like, Netflix is on your phone, ain't it?
Right.
All those movies don't
Exactly.
go through any process because they're already rated. They don't go through Apple's process. You don't get money for every
Yeah.
stream.
Why is he? Yeah, why? Are
So
they
why is
still
it
not
for
getting-
games?
It's weird, man.
And
'cause
they're already rated.
there's certain things on
Yeah.
Apple doesn't
on the
wanna try and run
Apple
anything
App
PC.
Store that slides through the radar, and it's
It's
just
already
like
rated. don't let R-rated or adult-rated things in. That ends that. That's fine.
right.
If they care so much about what's on their system, but they're just greedy and they want to get all the money from everything. It's like, and they have Apple Arcade, which is the real reason
That's
why they
what
don't
it
want
is.
it on
That's
there.
what it is.
So they want that to be a success, and they're like, oh, you guys are offering real games.
Game Pass, Game Pass would blow that out the water.
No
Not
one's
mobile
But
taking,
Apple's been trying to get into the gaming industry from
long time.
for the
and they just
What was
always
it, Pippin?
sucked at it.
beginning, man.
What was
They
it?
should have
Pippin? What was the
partnered up with
system name?
somebody instead of trying to go off on their own.
They suck at it.
Well, Steve Wozniak developed Breakout, right? I think it was Breakout.
Didn't they have a system called Pippin
Yes.
from Apple?
Yes.
And that was trash.
That was a failed system for Apple.
I thought he said pimpin'.
Pimpin?
I was like, wait. I'm like, wait. When
Yes,
did
it's
this happen?
it's shaped like a hand, and you put powder on it.
I need a picture of this. Hold on.
Bitch smack the industry.
It's
It's just a
Yeah.
hand. It's just a hand.
Pippin. Imagine the marketing for that, man. Pippin.
Pimpin. It's a shiny, it's a pink.
His name's Slick Will be a DLC
Shiny.
character.
Turn it on. You gotta slap it.
You turn on
Give
every
me my
sound.
money. Give me my money.
Hey, there's money to be made with that.
I got ideas, man. I got ideas.
If Apple's back in it, it's gonna do fine right now.
Yo, a pimp named Slickback will be.
Oh man.
And
So,
speaking of which, I don't think like what Apple takes 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a pimp took 30%,
they're pimping the game right now. They're pimping the whole game right now.
Speak it to reality, man. Speak it to reality.
I don't think the employees would have a problem getting 70% of the cut.
It sounds like that's what they're doing right now.
Oh man.
And that's it for that.
Oh, yes.
But I said you gotta end it there. You gotta,
Yo,
definitely gotta,
the derail is so real.
you gotta end it
Wow,
there.
guys. The derail.
Apple is pimping, pimping the industry.
Now for the main event.
Yes.
Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding,
We're gonna talk about Fallen City Brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Mike Wells here to talk all about it.
Yes.
That's right.
All right. So, from the trailer that I saw, from the Kickstarter, I can see a lot of influence from a certain game, like a Double Dragon in there. I definitely see that. I like to know what game got you into the brawling beat 'em up genre.
That's a good question. There's a few.
Okay.
So I started. Did you ever play Target Renegade or Renegade? before
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Renegade, yes.
Yes.
Back
I played
on-
both.
And we're going back here. This was when I had a Spectrum, a ZX Spectrum, and so this is going way back. But that was like the first kind of scrolling beat 'em up I really kind of got into, and that was at the time I think you kind of had Double Dragon in the arcades as well. I mean, Double Dragon was it was pivotal, wasn't it? In terms of the beat 'em up kind of genre. There's so much that is today kind of harks right back to Double Dragon, and there's a lot of kind of Double Dragon influences in Fallen City Brawl. There's some clips I shared recently, the kind of barrel throwing.
Yep.
And Double Dragon, there's always barrels to throw in Double Dragon, and Double Dragon 2. You can't go anywhere without a barrel in Double Dragon. So, but I think the big one was the Streets of Rage series. And you can see the influence of Streets of Rage in that trailer, I think. The first Streets of Rage was when I had my Mega Drive. Me and my brother used to play 2-player Streets of Rage just over and over again, and it was the first game I think I had on the Mega Drive that was really, it felt like having the arcade, in your home, and obviously things have kind of developed further with Streets of Rage 2, bigger sprites, bigger characters. But the first Streets of Rage had quite an impact, and the music on that game as well. And I think you kind of, when I've been developing Fallen City Brawl, I think there's key things you need to get right in a beat 'em up, and that I'm trying to kind of get right. One of them is that kind of feel, the feel of the impact as you're playing, and that kind of feeling of that powerful kind of feeling as you're kind of battling through kind of the city and the kind of the hordes of enemies coming at you. There's something about the sound and getting the sound right, and I think that's what the kind of Streets of Rage series obviously has got a reputation for. And I think there's something about that feeling of it's like a flow state when you're really kind of just into the game, and you're kind of stringing combos together, and the music really helps with that. So the Streets of Rage series is definitely an inspiration. Final Fight as well is, I think, a big impact on me in the arcades. I remember first playing it in the arcades, and it was so hard. It was just so difficult. Badly. But there's a few others. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Okay.
Yes.
Good game.
There's probably fewer kind of direct influences there, but I remember enjoying that a great deal in the arcades. I was on holiday, and again with my brother when we were younger, and there was a kind of arcade. I think it was in Spain, and it was set to it wasn't free play, but it was about 10 pence, or that would be so you could just play through the whole game basically for about £1.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Kind of feeding in this kind of change, but yeah. So there's some of the classic kind of late 80s, early 90s beat 'em ups are the kind of real inspiration I think behind Fallen City Brawl.
Awesome.
Not
Man.
bad.
Okay.
That's like all the games that we play.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You hit it on the
This
head.
is why it's great to be on the show. I know you're into your beat 'em ups, you know. I know when we spoke earlier, you're clearly passionate about the genre. So it's good to talk to people that love those games, because that's why I'm making it. I love playing them, and I thought, what I want to do is create one, of my own. So that was the starting point, really.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with the music and the feel of having it meshed together.
With the action.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's always like if the music isn't right, the game's not right.
Right.
It's always because we grew up on Streets of Rage, obviously. Streets of Rage 1 and 2 played well. Music was
3.
Yeah, well, the thing that's what I'm getting to is like 1 and 2 played so well, and the music was so good, and 3 played incredible, but the music dropped off from 1 and 2, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, what happened? And the I think it was Yuzo Koshiro. He was doing some experimental stuff with the music, and I'm like, nah, he chose the wrong time to be experimental with that because the action was so good. It was probably the action was better than 1 and 2, and it didn't feel right. And when they did 4 was just a
They understood.
Poetry.
it was just so beautiful from everything, from the hits, the sound effects, to the music. It was just beautiful. So like that was a great recovery, even though it took years later from part 3. But like music is probably, to me, when it comes to anything I'm playing, if the music is dope, I'll at least give it a play. And I was watching your Kickstarter, and I'm not sure the name of the guy.
Daniel.
Who was that?
Daniel Lindholm.
Yeah,
he does the music.
Yeah,
he's a really talented guy, and I'm really lucky, really, because I'm just kind of an indie dev, kind of working on my own largely with this game. But yeah, kind of got in contact with Daniel Lindholm, and he's got some really kind of major kind of credits to his name. He's worked on kind of Street Fighter 5. Most recently, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition as well. But also like Yakuza, Dead Souls, Resident Evil 6 as well, Lollipop Chainsaw as well. So some big kind of big games, and so having him kind of involved in the project is fantastic. And I think his score is in the trailer. There's also some of his work on the Kickstarter page as well. So he kind of talks through some of the process of how he's kind of working to create the soundtrack. And so I'm really lucky to have him involved, and it's a real kind of privilege. But he's doing a good job, and it'll really. It just the music is so important. It's so important to getting the feel of the game right, and just kind of the mood and the tone. I'm really trying to kind of hit that kind of late 80s, early 90s vibe. There's a lot of kind of action, kind of 80s, kind of 90s action film kind of feeling in the game. I'm trying to capture we're trying to capture in that soundtrack. So it's fantastic to have Daniel involved.
I was listening to that part of the trailer, and I'm like, as soon as he was talking about the music and doing the music and demonstrating like the sounds and all that, and as soon as I was listening, I'm like, yep, he's on the right track. I like exactly what he's doing. I'm like, that is exactly the type of music I like to hear in a beat 'em up. That's fast paced. I love 80s sound. 80s sound. It never ever gets tiring. I love 80s sounds in music. It's so dope. And I was like, this is good. I want to mess with this. I want this to happen so bad. This needs to happen.
To go on with what you're saying, to agree with you, the thing that got me, I backed your Kickstarter because I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. I believe that after reading everything, the thing that sold me though was the music, and I watched the video.
It's all about music, man.
Of the walkthrough. I'm a producer myself, so I love music. I love producing music. The thing that with me is like, the music's gonna get me to try the game. The gameplay is gonna get me,
to keep playing.
To keep playing.
Yep.
That's the hook, isn't
But
it?
the music is gonna keep me playing also. So it's like, it's gonna get my attention. And the last thing, which is funny for me personally, the last thing is like visuals. Like as long as the game plays good and it sounds good, I like the visuals is like the last thing that I worry about. You know, because I can name like a lot of like indie games that, you know, they don't
have
like
to look
even
the
stick
best.
figures, but the sound effects are awesome, the music is awesome, and like the gameplay is tight. I'm having fun. You know, think about like the Atari or like the, you know, it's like the fun factor is the most important thing.
Hell yeah.
I think that's right. I think we were talking Streets of Rage 3 just before, and I think it did get a lot right, Streets of Rage 3, in the playability. And so it was a faster game, so the characters could run and they could roll up and down. So it played faster. There was a lot more depth to like the weapons and the kind of specials. In the UK, we had kind of Streets of Rage 3. I know in Japan, I'm guessing, I don't know if in America it was similar to the European version. It was rock hard, they like ramped the difficulty up.
Oh, was it?
Wow.
I think Bare Knuckle 3 is a more forgiving kind of game and more maybe maybe more enjoyable because of that. But I think number 3 played kind of really well, and I'm trying to within Fallen City Brawl, so you can run in Fallen City Brawl, you can kind of do the kind of dodging, and I think the speed of the game is important. So there's something about the kind of just making it fun as well, fun to play, you know, and feeling that kind of power of the character. So I've built in a lot of kind of destructible scenery. So there's you'll see in the kind of trailer and some of the clips, there's kind of walls you can throw people into, and it kind of showers of bricks will come out, and basically you can fight your way through those walls into different areas of the game, and basically trying to make it so that what I like, I don't know if you've seen the Raid series, the Raid and the Raid 2. There's something about how the fight continues in whatever situation they're in. So like they're fighting in a tight corridor or in a big open room, fighting on the floor, fighting against the wall, and I'm trying to kind of get a bit of that feeling that the fight continues wherever you go. So basically when you knock people down, you can kind of go and kind of do some ground and pound. Building some grappling work as into that as well for some of the characters. But I just want it to be like a total fighting system, you know. So that's what I'm kind of working towards at the moment.
I was as you were just saying that, I was trying to think of an example of what I was trying to illustrate before, and I thought of it. I'm a big Tetris fan, huge Tetris fan,
yep.
And the best fundamentally like playable Tetris game has one of the worst music, like the most boring music that you can't change at all.
It's so
and
important, man.
And it's on the PS4. It's Tetris Ultimate on the PS4. It has all the modes that I want. It has everything that I want in a Tetris game.
They dropped the ball.
The freaking music, it puts you to sleep. It's the most boring. It's like, why did they do this? And how come you can't choose? They never updated it. You actually, Turbo 857, you have this shit. You have the game.
Yes. Tetris Ultimate?
On the PS4.
Yes.
Isn't that freaking music boring?
Well, yeah, I only played it once. I was like, I played that once.
That music is like, if you listen, I have to play it on mute.
It felt like it wasn't a true Tetris. Like,
but it's because of the music.
Music is beyond.
It's because of the music.
It's the most important thing in a video game. People don't realize it's the most important thing in a video game. It gets you into the mood.
Yes.
And it's. I don't even know if there's a name for it. I call it mood music. But if you have, we love Ninja Gaiden, right? We love Ninja Gaiden because they have each track dedicated for the moment that's going on.
There's a reason you play it now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
years later.
Yeah, there is. If something, create like a little sadness is going on, you have the track for it. If something suspicious is going on, you have the track for it. If there's crazy act, there's the mood of the situation.
It's also simple enough that you can do it now.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it has to make you feel. It has to make you feel.
It's got to make you feel.
Yeah.
And I think beat 'em ups. There's something unique about beat 'em ups in the way that they can make you feel. Because there is something about. I mentioned that flow state before, but I think it can be really powerful. And I think what's key to that is making sure that there's nothing breaks that flow state, and so that's why you've got to get the gameplay right. Because what you don't want is people feeling really engaged with it, and then it just glitching not right, or when getting that feel, the button press. I know we've talked about this a little bit earlier, maybe, but when you press the button, when you punch, that needs to happen. It needs to be instantaneous, and it needs to be, the sound needs to come in bang at the right time. It's got to be the exact frame of animation. And a lot of what I've been working on with Fallen City Brawl is literally kind of the animation frame. One frame out just gives a completely different feel to the game. It's just banging that frame, hitting it right on the head.
It's critical.
and just making you feel like you're in control of a character that can beat his way through or her way through, hundreds and hundreds of enemies, right to the kind of final battle,
Yeah, it's like what did we play recently? We played 99 Vitas, right? We played that beat 'em up. The problem had a decent like
impact was not the same.
like when you the impact the enemies had on us felt more than the impact we had on them when we attacked them. And I'm like, why I buy these combos, I have all these things I can do, but they get up in 2 seconds and knock me across the freaking screen and I'm dead. I'm like, and obviously in any game you play, there's frustrating moments. You want to inflict the same amount of pain on the enemies,
of course.
And if I come back and
satisfaction.
if I go back over there and it's just like wank wank and they're dead, that's like, no, I want to hurt you. I want to pop you up in the air, and I want my partner to come by and beat you down. Like I need to inflict that pain on the enemy.
By the way, real quick, I just wanted to say I remembered the game, Redeemer.
Okay.
I had a feeling it was
Sorry,
that
it
game,
was Redeemer. That was sorry. Yeah.
Way back in the beginning.
I had to just mention
5 segments later.
Yeah. It's way really late, but you said you guys
We're
were
gonna
right.
edit that part in right after you forgot.
Yeah. Yes,
you
that was
do that.
perfect. That's
I
perfect.
remember that.
Redeemer. Going back.
But as we can tell from the trailer you have up, that you took a lot of pride in like the power behind the hits.
The
'Cause
hard
you
hitting.
can tell that you can feel that power.
Yeah.
Because
screen
even just
shaking.
watching that, you can tell like, okay, that's the connection I need to hit these guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's very, very important.
I'm glad that's coming across. It was really important to me. I think just the way it feels, and that power is important. I think I'm hoping the wolf character helps with that as well. So we've got like you've basically got 4 playable characters, and then there's a wolf that fights alongside you. I've been talking with people that there's like 145 people that have backed the game so far, and just some awesome, fantastic support. And thank you to everyone who has backed it so far, including yourself as well. Thank you.
Well deserved.
And I think what people have said if they're back is, look, we need to play as the wolf.
That was the
I'm
news.
gonna have to make that happen. I'm gonna have to make that happen, and I will. So, but he's kind of primarily. Did you ever play Guardian Heroes?
Hell yeah! Absolutely.
Yes.
Sorry, we screamed into the mic.
Yeah, like that is one of our favorite like beat 'em ups all time. It's
You can't beat Guardian.
It's incredible.
I should have included it in the kind of influences because I had that on the Sega Saturn, and it was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Can't be, yeah.
Dude, you're like a
Guardian
friend
Heroes.
from
yeah, which is why exactly I actually donated during the podcast,
Yeah.
man.
You did?
I actually,
Oh, shit.
you see me on my phone, I was like, hold up. I didn't do it the other day. I forgot,
yeah.
and I'm like, let me do it right now. Let me do it right now.
Oh man,
Thank you. I love Guardian Heroes. There's so much right about the game.
One
I
of
think
the best.
you had the Golden Warrior character,
Undead Hero.
Undead Hero. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He was, and he'd be there, kind of smashing with his sword, and you could set him to defend, I think, and you set him to attack, and you could give him kind of basic commands. And so the wolf will work in a similar way. So he'll basically, you can set him to kind of defend you. And I want to kind of work a little bit on the relationship between the character and the wolf. I want it to be like he kind of, that kind of forged in kind of the fire of combat. You really care about this wolf, and he cares about you. So he's going to defend you, but you can set him, just unleash him, and he'll just kind of go and tear up the enemy and just slam him. And he's just vicious. So it's just going to be carnage when you unleash him.
Is the wolf invincible like the undead hero, or is he could he be killed by enemies?
At the moment, he's kind of invincible.
Okay.
But there's still kind of time to work on the wolf, and I think I'm getting a lot of feedback about the wolf. I think people are more interested in the wolf.
The wolf is cool. The wolf is cool.
Wolf is a cool touch.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the enemy having something. Maybe the enemy will have some kind of wolf or some kind of something
bear.
to rival the wolf. Maybe
or
there'll be
bear.
something.
Or bear.
Maybe not bear. Maybe on his day after running the bear and breakfast, he'll come in.
A wolf versus
Crossover.
With a bib.
I think because if the wolf's invincible, then you're not going to feel as you're not going to feel as close to him, are you? You're not going to worry about him. And I want the kind of player to be kind of thinking, I want to use the wolf carefully. So at the moment in the game, he doesn't take damage, but I think I'll be looking at that because I want him to be a little bit strategic. So if you're sending him out to attack all the time, then there's got to be some risk with that. Otherwise, it's just going to be too easy.
It'll be like, because right now, if he doesn't get hurt, it'll be like, what's that Shinobi sequel?
Shadow Dancer.
Shadow Dancer.
Yeah, when you
Shadow
call
Dancer.
him out and he like grabs people and stuff, but
Checks
you
them
don't
by neck and
really
bounce.
feel sorry or like you just abuse it.
Yeah.
I have a question about the. There's an animation that you have in your Kickstarter with the car, whatever that comes out with the SWAT team. Or whatever. Is that
That's a
is that
special move.
That's a special move.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. So it's there's an influence there, isn't it, from Streets of Rage? Press. I always used, when you start and you try and press punch and you press the special button.
You waste your
The
head.
first guy who comes on the screen is like that and he just gets nuked. So there's an influence there, but I think I'm trying to make it a bit different. So the idea is that you've got these kind of mercenaries that you can call on. And they're basically like guns for hire. So the car kind of spinning in, it'll kind of smash into the enemy, and then they come out with their assault rifles and finish them off. And that's one of them, but the idea is that it'll build up, and that's kind of one of the kind of earlier ones. So there'll be other ones where they're kind of coming in on motorbikes. There'll be later ones though. So I've got I'm working on a kind of, the Russian kind of Hind attack helicopter.
Yep.
The kind of Soviet kind of attack helicopter. That's going to be kind of coming in and kind of just launching missiles and all sorts of carnage with that as well. So basically, the way it'll work is that you can kind of build up the bar that'll allow you to unleash that. So if you kind of wait. You don't use it straight away. Build it up. You can then unleash the kind of the higher tier ones,
So they're golden.
or you can use it more frequently at a kind of lower level. A bit like back in the day, Golden Axe. Back in the day, where you have the magic and build up. Similar idea to that. So I'm just looking to how you'll get that mercenary kind of attack to build up. Whether it's kind of linked to the enemies drop stuff in the game when you kill them, so they sometimes drop cash and things like that, and it's about whether you can use that and put it towards the mercenaries. I haven't quite finalised that mechanic yet, but it's going to be good. It's going to be really cool.
Not bad.
And again, something about how that will gives you that feeling of when you're in a tight spot and you're just surrounded by enemies. Right? How are we going to sort this out?
I have an idea for the elevator level. If it's a glass elevator. When you call in the mercenaries, they rappel down from the roof and they just swing in and break through the glass and just.
That's cool.
Man. Can they shoot their way? If they shoot their way through the glass,
yes,
swing in?
even better.
Yes. Oh, that'd be awesome.
This is great. This is great.
That'll be
I'm
probably.
coming back on again. Give me more ideas.
Stick with us. We'll show you the ropes.
Between the five of us, we have we could have so many ideas.
Oh man.
So speaking of how the ideas for this game are coming through, what is your thoughts on like the juggling aspect of it and the combos?
Okay. So there's combos in there. It doesn't work in the same way as Streets of Rage 4. So in Streets of Rage 4, basically you hit the enemy against the side of the screen, they'll bounce right back, and you kind of juggle. It doesn't do that. I don't do that at the moment. I want combos in there, but I don't want the same kind of level of focus on combos. Maybe it's a personal preference. Definitely combos. But I think less focused on juggling than Streets of Rage 4. Okay. I'm not a massive fan of juggling, if I'm honest, in beat 'em ups. I think it can work. Streets of Rage 4 does it really well, but I think I'm not having quite that emphasis on the kind of juggling aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you? Because it's work. We're work in progress still. It's a Kickstarter that's there to fund the development of the game. There's still kind of 10 months or so that I'm looking at development. So there's
me personally, my personal preference. I think the game that did it probably one of the best is probably Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I'm not sure if you've played it for the Xbox, the original Xbox, but they had a way of where one player could be attacking somebody and grab them and throw them in the air, and the other player can jump up in the air and start a combo. Like that kind of tag team type of like it initiates conversation between player 1 and player 2 rather than just like mashing buttons. It's like, I could be playing with, let's just say I'm playing with Big Chalk over here and I'm just beating someone up. I'll be like, yo, Chalk, I'm about to throw this guy over towards you. And I'll just toss him and Chalk just pops over and does a combo in midair. Like the way they did that was so seamless and smooth that I think it worked a lot better than most beat 'em ups that I've played.
So it doesn't have to be like complicated juggling.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
just,
have to be.
Can I pass him over?
Yeah.
Can you get like 2 or 3 hits in?
Yeah, it doesn't have to
Just
be.
make it
Something
look
like
cool
that.
and brutal.
Yeah. Just like pop him up in the air. Hold up, I got him. Pop, pop, pop. Pop him back down, and that's and that's it. That's all. It's as simple as that. That can work very, very well. Most other games have that. Was that the you hit the down and the attack and you pop
they
them
pop
up,
'em up.
and then you hit jump and you boom boom boom, which is always good.
Yeah, I always
But
like that.
but a lot of them do have that. It's just not a lot of them have it like Shaolin monks where you could grab them, throw them in the direction of your second player, and he jumps up and pop 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 pop. It's
That's true. Yeah.
that
I got 2 games that did it simple but well. It's and they don't get talked about enough in the beat 'em up titles.
Ooh, I think I know what you're gonna say too.
Me too.
Sengoku 3
No, I wasn't going.
for Neo Geo.
Well,
Like no one ever talks about that, but
one
the
ever talks
juggling
about that.
system in that is
That's
not
true.
anything super
It's simple.
overcomplicated.
It's simple.
It is very
But
simple.
it does just enough to be like, okay, this is awesome. And the other one was Golden Axe. What was it? Golden Axe 3 or
Revenge of Death.
Revenge of Death.
Oh, Revenge of Death.
Revenge.
The one that's in
Yeah.
arcade only. It's coming out now
Yep.
finally. But yeah, that one is never talked about also.
Never.
And those
Never.
2 are like pinnacle 90s. In the 90s, they did just fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
They didn't
I
get
love
too
the way that
complicated.
the Golden Axe, the Revenge of Death. I love the combo system in that, and I think that I can kind of use and build on. I think that works well. And you're right. I mean, it's coming out on the Sega arcade, the mini arcade, isn't it?
finally, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In
It's gonna
Japan.
be awesome.
In Japan right now.
Japan only. Yeah.
That's a damn shame, man.
Hey,
That
hey,
game
there's
is
always
so
MAME.
good.
There's always MAME. There's always MAME. That's the only way you're playing that is on MAME.
The game is so good. So good.
I would buy it if it was available.
Import. No.
I would buy it if it was available.
Yeah.
In English.
Well, yeah. Hopefully in English.
Well, obviously, yeah.
I don't even know what
Translated.
choice. I don't know.
Translated.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, some type of combo system that influences like the co-op version of it, like so you play it a little differently than just single player, is much appreciated if it can be done. It does make it a lot more fun.
Actually, Streets of Rage 1 and I think maybe 3 had it. Where you
What,
could
when you
grab your
yourself.
your co-op guy and toss him into people. Like,
Throw them over your shoulder.
yeah,
something.
And it's spin and kick. Yeah.
yeah, they got rid of that in part 4.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Yeah, remember you can grab him and you
That's
can flip
true.
over him. He does a little flip, like
That's true.
Team moves. and
yeah.
stuff
Teamwork
like that. Yeah, it was
moves
like-
are always awesome.
Yeah, teamwork moves.
I got another thing.
Uh.
There's a move in a game. It's very important. This move makes the game. So
jump?
in Double Dragon 2,
There it
yeah.
goes. There it goes.
there's a move, there's a knee in that game that pops the enemy so hard. Like they figured the sound and the impact on the enemy. If you can possibly put a move in the game that hits someone that hard and makes you feel as good as that move,
All the knees, nothing beats the
that
knee.
game sells that move sells the entire game.
I love that.
Without that,
Yeah.
I need a move like that in the game. Whether it's an uppercut or a knee, like whatever it is, spin kick, something that hits.
about that
super
sound,
hard.
and then the
Yeah.
power behind it is just I love
It's
it.
magic.
It's like that crack, isn't it?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Streets of Rage 2 with Max when he grabs them and he does like a knee drop. He like drops them on his
Oh, yeah.
on his knee.
Yes.
It leaves, like it just kills all the enemies in like one go.
You know you're
inflicting.
inflicting some pain on
It's like a
somebody.
strong
with
It's
that.
satisfying. It's satisfying.
That's very important in the game.
It's a pop. There's a certain. It's always sound related because it's like either the music or the sound effect when you hit somebody. Like Kev, you could probably. I know you won't agree because you don't like the game's music, rightfully so. But Super Double Dragon for the Super Nintendo, the sound of the uppercut
Yeah.
from either the uppercut or the hook from Jimmy that
The-
you give to the enemy,
Yeah.
it's a pop. There's a certain pop
Like-
that comes out, and the animation with it, it's just like, and then they do that silly ass roll after you hit them.
Yeah.
It's something about the sound of inflicting the move on the enemy, and the sound is just like, oh, that's so awesome. I'll do it 50 times in a row and I won't care. Like,
That was a game that was almost good.
If they got the music right and sped
Almost
it up,
good.
if they
Almost
sped
good.
it up, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, it was a little slow.
A little
Yeah,
slow,
it was a little slow.
but the things they added with like catching someone's
had some
arm
stuff.
and
Yeah.
doing like and the bow stick,
Reversals.
they had a lot of
Yeah.
cool shit in
Well, that's the
there.
cool thing about
If you can
Fallen
block or reverse, that's awesome. And a
Fallen
beat 'em
City
up.
Brawl's got the parries in there, right? You guys.
Parries are awesome.
Yeah,
They're
that's right. So there's parries, and then you can build onto the counter as well. So you can parry. So you can kind of like basically. I want to. There isn't a block button or anything, but so I want you to continue to be kind of aggressive as you're playing, but you can parry away shots as they're coming in. But then you can follow up with a counter as well.
That's
so the
dope.
idea
That's
is
awesome.
you can do kind of
That's
high
different.
I like that.
and low counters as well. So there's a little bit of strategy, and the idea is that I want it to be so you're not having to take a backward step basically, so you can always continue to be aggressive.
I like that.
And also, so you can mix it up. So some of the enemies will block, and so if they're blocking high, you can kind of go low, and vice versa. So it's going to be I'm trying to build in some of the developments in the kind of one-on-one fighting games that have happened over the years that maybe there hasn't been as much development in kind of the scrolling beat 'em ups, just because I think for a good few years beat 'em ups just didn't have the kind of profile that they're starting to get again now.
Yeah.
And I think whereas one-on-one fighting games developed perhaps more in that time, and I think beat 'em ups have maybe caught up to some degree, but I think I want to build in some of the stuff that works well in kind of one-on-one fighting games. And like you say, some of the games you mentioned already where they've got a kind of parry and a kind of counter kind of mechanic in there. But I think it's going to be it's going to be really satisfying, and that's another type of move that you've got to get right, and the parries and the counters will build up the I've called it kind of the riot gauge, but it's basically a super gauge at the bottom of the screen. So when you build that up, you can then kind of unleash the kind of super moves or the riot moves. So the counters will help build that up faster than a regular attack, basically. Same with the combos. So you're building up combos, you're gonna
That could
build up
be.
the
I think that could be a game changer, because I always say when I play a good beat 'em up and I think about a sequel, especially with Streets of Rage and everything like that, I'm like, I say a block, but I'm like, no, it's like a counter or a parry would be really cool. And like you said before, it's like with Guardian Heroes, the reason why that game is so fun is because they incorporate the one-on-one in the beat 'em up style. I think when you mix that, and so is Streets of Rage 4, when you mix that, when there's a synergy between that, it makes a really, really crazy combat system, and especially when you're going to add parries on top of that, that could be pretty killer.
It's a game changer. It
That's
sounds
definitely a game changer.
Yeah.
Just don't do the parries like what was it? Fist of North Star, Ken's Rage 2.
Why?
They took out the jump and they put like a parry move, and it
That
takes,
didn't work. Yeah.
It takes like energy. It takes away from your HP, and and it was just garbage. I was just like, this doesn't feel right.
So
It's
they,
like
so they penalize you for parrying.
Yes.
they penalize you.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
And then they give you a
Big
block
health.
too, and you could still roll. So it just felt weird. I'm like, you took away the jump for this. I'm like, this is stupid,
I
But
think you've got to have kind of flexibility in how you play. So you can play it how you want to play it with Fallen City Brawl, but you're right. It's got to be kind of clear. Well, what results in benefits to you as a player? So if you know that, look, kind of parrying and countering will be, you'll have to time it well to get it to land it, and so you need to get a reward from it. You got to be clear, haven't you, where the reward's coming from? And like you say, in that game, it's just not clear because you've got, you can block, you can roll. So what are you? Why, it's not a focus of the game. And whereas I want the parrying and the countering to be a focus, and that people, because you can play it to whatever level I guess you want to play it with Fallen City Brawl, but if you want to get into the depth of the combat system, then it's there for people that want to take it forward. So I'm glad that you kind of like the idea. It's important to me to get that bit right.
very intrigued. That's gonna be great. The parrying system. I want to check that out.
Yeah, man.
We're in the golden age of fighters, like beat 'em ups right now, and a lot of the games that came out recently have really figured it out. Like, what was it, like Fighting Rage?
Fighting Rage did it good. River
And
City Girls
River City
did it good.
Girls.
Streets of Rage 4 did it great.
Yep.
It's been a bunch of good beat 'em ups. You guys, played Takeover. You said that was good.
Takeover only had the one gripe I had with Takeover was I never felt like I was in real danger of losing. because we basically ran
lost
through that
once.
and maybe lost our lives. We
Once.
continued one time through the whole game.
Through the entire
And
game.
I didn't feel like I was like, okay, we're gonna continue, gonna beat it now because there's no way I'm losing all my lives on this boss. So I didn't feel like it really challenged me.
Right.
I like the game though, but
River City Underground does a better job at that.
oh yeah, you feel like you're in danger.
You're
a lot.
in danger a lot in that game.
Right.
But when you pull off some moves, you're like, you're the shit.
I mean,
you
that's
know?
a different type of beat 'em up because you can buy moves
Buy
and
moves and
change
stuff,
what you
yeah.
do.
Well, there
and,
was
you know,
there was
there's
also
lot
a
more.
choice. My gripe with it was the choice you make at the end of the game.
Well, you can choose the bad or good ending.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. But we just continued and
I
got
was
the other
mad.
ending.
Yeah, well, I was
Wasn't
just
a
like, come
big
on,
deal.
man, really?
But options like that, I mean, it does give you a little bit of replay, but I mean,
It
it's cool.
does.
But an idea just popped up in my head.
What's that?
The fact that there's 4 characters that are selectable in this game, maybe one of the tiers in the Kickstarter should be make it 4 players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I do like.
You know?
Yeah, I do like that idea, or at least 3. I think there's some really cool 3-player beat 'em ups as well as 4-player. I think 4-player would be great. There's something about the playfield and how big the playfield is.
Yeah.
There's a number of fighters on there, so I'd need to make sure the balance was right. But I'd love to do a kind of 3 or 4 player mode. I think it'd be crazy.
Oh,
It'd be great.
it would be all over this channel.
Oh, yeah.
It would be all over level 85. I mean, we'd be all over that.
It's still gonna get played anyway.
Maybe-
Yeah, it's gonna get played anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be 5-player. All you guys together.
5 players. Screw it. One of us will be the wolf.
Right.
No, I'd like to do it. I'd like to do that. I just need to focus on getting the funding for the game, for the kind of the 2-player focus, and then but there's potential of, we'll see how we get on, and hopefully we'll get there, and then potential for stretch goals and things like that, or kind of further developments kind of down the line. But I think the more people that can play together at once. Did you ever play Micro Machines? A completely different type of game, obviously, but back on the Mega Drive. There was like an 8-player version.
Yes.
I remember like me and like 7 other people crammed around the Mega Drive, and you'd have like half a controller each. But anyway, that's a different game.
The more players, the better.
Yeah, man.
So if you got to move that camera back a little bit,
Then we'll do it.
throw some people in there.
I built in like a zooming camera, so I'm quite a fan of like the Neo Geo games, and there was always like zooming
That
cameras.
was that's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because I thought it was just in the trailer. I'm like, no, is that
But they're
was
very
edited.
close up.
No,
Yeah.
but that is awesome, because I love that in all the Neo Geo games, especially Samurai Showdown.
Oh yeah,
I remember I remember first seeing it in the arcade. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What
they
is
couldn't
that?
do it on Super Nintendo.
Well, yeah, they didn't do it on Super Nintendo, but still, though, just being able to see sprites just being zoomed in on,
Yeah.
and then like just effortlessly, just boom, right there. It's awesome. It's an awesome.
I think it can be really powerful, can't it? I think when I first kind of implemented it in the game, it was basically any kind of really strong attack had the zoom effect, and I think it was maybe too much. So I've kind of limited it a little bit more to being particularly strong attacks and like super moves and stuff. And there's something as well around balancing it with the 2-player mode. So what you don't want is for the camera to be zooming in on one character when the other guy's like, "What about me? Where's my character gone?" So there's something about balancing that out. So it works slightly differently in the 2-player mode. But yeah, so the zooming is something that I want to do, and yeah, it's working pretty well at the moment. So I'm glad you like it.
So slow motion zoom in when you kill a boss. Yeah. We want to see that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's at the end of the trailer, there's like a super move where you basically starts off with like a combo, and there's kind of some punching and a back fist, and then he grabs the kind of guy and he's kind of headbutting, but it's the guy who he's headbutting is and it kind of slows down as you're doing that to kind of emphasize it, but it's actually the big guy with the chain, Iron Jackson. So he's so the cop's kind of fighting him at the end of that trailer. Originally, he was a boss character, that kind of Iron Jackson. So he was going to be a boss, but he's not anymore. He's in the game as a playable character. Although when you're choosing one of the characters to play through, he'll still appear as a boss in the game for one of the characters' kind of journeys. There's a kind of like a prelude kind of thing for how he kind of ends up being a playable character. So I'm hoping that's a pretty cool thing.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm excited, man.
I like
The character design is dope too.
Yes.
Super dope.
Like I said, I don't think you need to do anything else to the visual design of the game. I think you should just focus on the just the gameplay, man. Just the the parry system. It's an awesome idea. Just build on that and make sure that that's working good. And I think that's
Well, this has like a Mother Russia bleed.
Yeah.
Mother Russia Bleeds is
It has a look like that.
yes,
Which is fine. Gritty is
Yeah.
fine.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Man. Perfectly fine.
It's it's a gritty kind of visual style, and I know it's the pixel art's my own, and I think hopefully people like it, and there's further work to be done on it. There's further work to kind of tidy it a little bit more. My style, I guess, is my style, and I'm glad you like it. So I'm going to keep kind of refining it and working on it, and there's still work to be done on it, but yeah, Mother Russia Bleeds was I had a lot of fun with Mother Russia Bleeds.
That was good.
That's gritty. That's a gritty game
Oh,
right there.
is that still the most viewed video on our channel?
It's up there.
It's up
Yeah,
there.
it's up there. Yeah.
It's up there.
The Mother Russia Bleeds videos. Yeah,
That's a
they're
lot.
up
I want to play it again. That's a fun.
Well, I have it set up so we can play it again,
Yeah,
but
I'll
we
play
have
it.
a lot of other stuff on the backlog
Yeah.
that we have to get
That's
to
a
before
4-player
that.
gym, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's good
a.
full play game.
I love the grittiness of it.
Yeah.
It's almost too gritty at some points.
Oh no, there was that one stage.
I know what you're talking about.
Or you're taking drugs to keep yourself in the game.
Well, yeah,
So-
that's a turning point we don't like though, because you don't get the real ending.
You don't
if
get the
use
real
power,
ending.
and that
Yeah.
sucks.
Right.
That sucks. Don't do nothing like that.
That boss is tough without doing that. man.
Exactly.
How am I gonna?
I'm not gonna use a special move.
You can't beat that boss sober.
What was that stage though? What was that stage that like had?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Story.
Quick shout out.
Trying to forget that.
Quick shout out to I'm Zanzan and some beardy to love in the chat.
Oh,
Hey, some beardy to
What's
love.
Our buddy some beardy, he's actually gonna come host with us. What
Next week.
Next week.
Next
yeah.
week,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
yeah.
he's actually very excited for the game, Mike.
Oh, fantastic!
And he says the
Hey, that's
pixel art
really
looks
cool.
dope.
It does.
Yeah, man.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. That's really cool. Thank you. Do you know what? It's been so amazing that the whole Kickstarter process. I think it's been fantastic. How people back the game, but the comments that I've had and really positive feedback is because I've been sharing the game on Twitter mostly, I suppose, some other social media as well for a little while now. But so you get kind of some feedback, and it's fantastic. And I think for people to take the time to actually compliment it and back it, because it's a difficult time for a lot of people at the moment as well. We're in the middle of a pandemic still. People's kind of finances aren't necessarily great at the moment. People are worried about stuff. So for people to kind of pledge money to support me with this is, it's fantastic. And when when I hear really positive comments like that, it's just great, and it makes it kind of feel like, because I've obviously got a lot of passion for the game, but when other people kind of are sharing that passion, it's just brilliant. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Pandemic or not,
Yeah.
when people see something good, they're gonna want to support it.
Because
Yeah.
during the pandemic, we need stuff to play. So it's like, support the damn game. We need some fucking games.
And there's never a bad time for another great beat 'em up to come
Oh,
out.
never.
Absolutely agreed.
There's never just like, oh, I played this beat 'em up, play that. I don't need to play anymore. Like, it's always great to
Give me
play a
more.
new beat 'em up that has a great combat system. So I think that's a genre nowadays
It's
that is always good to keep coming out with more games.
for me. It's two genres. It's the beat 'em up genre. It needs. We could always use more.
It's
Yeah.
thriving.
The second one is the light gun game.
No, that's dead. No, that's dead.
I love that. I love that
That's
genre.
That's been
damn
dead
it.
for a hot minute.
It's
That's
coming
dead.
back. It's coming. I'm sorry.
It's only because of the advancements
I'm-
in TV tech.
No, there's ways.
No, but
It's coming
there's
back.
Kickstarters also
Slowly but
for
surely.
that I actually backed. Also, there's a second one.
There's a second one. It looked kind of crap.
But hey, I backed that one. It looked good.
He said, look,
Hopefully.
you better get your money back.
I like
No, but
games.
I-
No,
They're-
like games are dope,
They're
but they're-
good.
It's
I
a dead
do,
genre
man. It's
right
just
now
it's
because of
it
TV.
really is a dead genre though. It really is. And
that
if
sucks.
you consider VR, which is almost a dead genre,
Wow.
it's on its way. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. But
No, they can put those two together. Oh my god.
they could,
Yeah.
could. And I mean,
put them
they,
together.
That'd make him better.
They've
actually.
tried, but
I think
it's
it'd
like
make him better.
just that genre itself, the shooter.
That's
It's
on
like-
Point Blank.
it's
That's
House of the
forgotten.
Dead VR, man. Come
That's Point
on.
Blank.
Yeah, if
House of
arcades
the
were
Dead.
as popular as they used to be.
That's the only
Yeah.
way arcades will
Time
be popular, is if
Crisis.
They can still do a gun game.
Yeah, man.
No, you got the one up arcade, man. They're like, oh, we get
Hey, that's a
overwhelming
market.
responses on light gun games. We know, we hear you, and then they're like Buck Hunter. I'm like, oh, come on.
That was in every bar.
Everybody's like, Time Crisis.
Of
House
course,
of the
it was
Dead.
in every bar in America.
That was in every
Buck Hunter.
I'm
It's
sorry,
everywhere in the world.
Wait, every bar in America.
I was gonna say
bar
every
in
redneck bar.
Every
You gotta
redneck
see
bar
that.
in America.
Buck Hunter. Yeah, I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, come on, man.
But
I could definitely see Fallen City Brawl as an arcade game too.
Hell yeah.
yes.
Hell yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
There's a lot of arcade in it, because I think I'm trying to capture that feel of the arcade, and so all of the kind of stuff that appears on screen, like the icons. So when you if you get hit too often, you can go dizzy, and so you're kind of spinning like dizzy, like in Street Fighter 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
And above your head is the kind of arcade stick and the buttons, kind of waggling, smashing the buttons. There's kind of insert coin and stuff flashing on the screen, and I want it to be like everything kind of being kind of like one up, kind of for player 1 and 2 up and stuff. So I think there's basically, if it's something that appears in an arcade game in terms of that kind of wording and those kind of images and stuff, I'm trying to build it into Fallen City Brawl. But one of the Kickstarter rewards is a kind of exclusive instruction manual, but like a physical. So the game's digital, but there's a physical instruction manual you can get with it. Because I just love the 16-bit kind of full color instruction manuals for the Mega Drive and SNES and that. So I think with what I've done with the Kickstarter version of that, because it's not specific to the version of the game, so the Switch version of the manual isn't any different to the PS4 version of the manual for the Kickstarter. It's all kind of arcade themed, so if you're talking about what are the controls, it's always going to be like the joystick kind of pointing and the buttons of the arcade kind of button, because realistically people are going to work out the controls of the game pretty easily, so I can kind of translate it into the arcade stick and buttons, and yeah, it's gonna look really cool. It's been quite a popular reward as well. I think having that kind of instruction book. I'm looking forward to kind of making it and getting it out there. So maybe I don't know about you guys, but I just love those instruction books.
I miss them.
It's one of those things, like we were talking about dead
What is
genres,
this?
man.
What is
An
that?
instruction
What is
book.
Half the games that we play don't have tutorials. I'm like, the fuck? I don't know how to play these games.
Well, they do have
What's an
instruction booklets.
booklet.
Oh man.
What
They
is
do.
that?
They do have them, but they're all digital.
And I like the artwork in the instruction manuals of the characters.
Awesome books.
I always love the artwork.
Awesome
yes.
books that have that in it are great.
Yeah, I love them.
I mean, even
The
when I
color
bought-
ones,
You know,
the
the art
color
book. The art book that I got with Streets of Rage 4 was literally the same art that they had in the game.
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it was a
That's-
very tiny
you
book.
Oh my god.
And it
no.
had the same art that was in the game.
That's such bull.
Yeah, it was pretty much.
How much
I mean,
is-
it's nice to have it in, as a thing, but it's a little tiny,
I want
tiny
an
book.
art book.
It's not even the same
No,
size as the instruction, like the case. That sucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was something. You gotta take what you can now.
Because physical copies are going out of
Well,
style.
they have digital.
I mean, I
art
got the
books.
physical copy.
They
yeah.
have digital instruction manuals now,
No, they do. They always do.
and
Yeah.
but it's like
No one
it's not
goes
the,
to see
but
that.
it's not the same.
No one even. Sees
No one
it.
I
watches
forget
those.
about it. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. There's a.
No, at least have me
funny.
print it. Can I print it out? Can I at least print it? Give me
the PDF.
Yeah, give me a printable
Come
version.
on.
I'll do
It's
it.
so funny because I was just chilling the other day on my couch and I opened up the case that I had for Halo 2 and I saw the big thick instruction manual. I was like, this is so awesome.
What is this about?
For a game that I'm probably never gonna play again.
Remember
There's a
it's nice to
dope
have.
instruction manual.
Yeah, you can just look through it and
Remember in like Mario or Zelda when you didn't know the story until you opened the instructions?
Oh, because they actually have the story there for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, there's a story from Mario?
or
Who's this person? You didn't even know the names of people.
or the names of the the names of the characters.
You know who the hell was in the game until you opened the
Oh,
instructions.
Kid Icarus and Metroid ones. Yeah, they show you
Yeah.
the names of all
Yep.
the enemies
Yes.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had no
The
idea.
same thing in the Halo booklet.
How could you
Right.
make the Zelda rap without knowing the name?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Tech type.
Levers. Octoroks. I wouldn't know those without the
rope.
instructions. The rope, yeah. The ropes.
You know the ropes.
I was like,
The
what?
ropes.
What was the one that steals your shield?
Likes.
Like.
Yeah.
See what the instruction book can do?
Yeah.
It changes everything.
Yeah. No, that's a good stretch goal. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
I really had a question.
I think there's some other kind of rewards as well that just to mention is a name an enemy reward, which is basically on let's say Streets of Rage 2 when you hit the enemy, the guy's name pops up above that life bar. So basically, there's one of the rewards is where you can kind of put your own name in there or a name of your choice really. So basically, when you're playing through, you're going to eventually fight yourself in terms of the name of the character. There's also like some kind of the higher tiers around designing an enemy and designing a mid-boss as well. And they've been really popular. So there's kind of there's a really interesting mid-boss one where somebody's backed that really cool guy, and he said, "Can I put myself as the mid boss?" And I was like, "Maybe." But I was thinking like, it depends a little bit, because if it's just like a regular guy, it's like, well, is that a mid boss? But it turns out I was talking to this guy, and it was he's basically a mixed martial arts instructor, right? So he's like this kind of double hard guy, kind of MMA kind of fighter trainer, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll get you in there as a mid boss, because I think we can, that's going to be really exciting for people to, I like the idea of having a kind of MMA guy who can fight on the ground, who can kind of grapple, who can fight standing up. It's going to be badass, So it's
Mike, let me ask you this: would you have a mid boss named Big Chalk that has a special move called the flatbread?
It's a splash.
It's got to be in every game.
It's called the flatbread, and he just like.
And since we're in the middle of like, it's probably going to be a street fight, I'd have to run off of a wall to do it.
That's going to be great.
Better than the character I had in mind.
Yes.
I was going to say a whale with feet. Like, can run around. It would ruin the game. Don't worry about my game.
No.
A whale with feet.
A whale with feet.
It
makes no sense.
With
to the
jeans
game
on.
at all.
With jeans on.
Jeans.
No, that's terrible.
Actually,
That's a whale.
Worst character I've ever heard in my life.
You know what though? It actually goes along with the what's that Japanese? Shoot, it was a Japanese beat 'em up we played.
Oh, the dolphin.
No.
Dolphin Blue.
No.
Super something Batman.
Oh, the Batman game?
Ninja Baseball Batman. It was an arcade beat 'em up that was only released in Japan.
That would make perfect sense in there.
Yes, it definitely would make perfect sense.
Just
Weird fucking game, but awesome beat 'em up. This is actually pretty good.
Yo,
It was actually good.
Just as long as it's not that character from Streets of Rage 3, the Japanese version, with the dude with the high stockings that popped out the boat.
Why not?
That is the worst
Why
character.
not?
I don't know why they even put that in there.
Why
I'm
they do
like,
that?
he popped up with
It's
them
in
long ass
it's in bare
legs
knuckle.
and heels. I'm like, what is
Bare
what is-
knuckle 3
what
is
is
it?
happening?
It's in Bare Knuckle 3.
Oh, that was
Oh,
the
yes.
worst boss ever
yes.
for no reason.
Yeah.
Beardy thinks that he would make a perfectly good mid boss.
I second
I
that.
kinda agree.
I second
I
that.
I agree.
Barely
With no energy bar. One punch, boom, out of the way.
Nah. His beard is extra exaggerated, and he gets
It's a
like
shield.
and he throws it
Over
on
you?
over you, and he
Suffocates
punches you up.
Oh.
Like pop, 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 pop.
And you
can't
like,
move.
You get like stuck in his beard.
Yeah, you gotta get out of the beard, and you see the
It'd be
arcade
like,
stick
Fist of
to
No
get
Style.
out of it.
Yeah.
You gotta get out of his beard.
Ah, that's actually a good
There you
idea.
go.
That's
And
not
then
bad.
when you beat the beardy boss, you shave his beard at the end of it.
No.
No, you ain't gotta shave. Why you gotta shave him?
No, just not in real
That's
life.
humiliation. You
That's
can't-
humiliation.
Yeah,
I wanna
no,
Just the
Can't do
game.
that.
Just the game.
That's his offense, man. I can't do
But if you had a close up of his face with no beard, though, it'd be funny. It'd be pretty funny.
He has to let out a scream like, "What?"
But Big Chalk with that flatbread though.
The flatbread.
Flatbread would work.
No.
The flatbread.
Actually, somebody had a question. He said, "Will there be any team damage in the game?" Please say no.
Yeah, so basically, when you're kind of like in a 2-player kind of scenario, where you're kind of you can hit the same the guy you're playing with, basically.
You can't hit
Is
him.
that?
Can you turn?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
off?
So basically in 2-player mode, you need to be careful not to basically knock out the guy you're fighting alongside. Is that the kind of? I missed it just the last bit of the question then, but
Can you turn
team
that
damage,
off?
Yeah. Is there a way to turn that off?
Basically,
Oh, okay.
what I'm trying to kind of replicate. Do you remember the first Streets of Rage, whereby basically you can kind of hit the other guy, but you're not going to be kind of causing a great deal of damage, basically.
Okay.
But if there's that's the way it is at the moment. It's not something that's difficult to change along the way. So I'm interested in the kind of feedback on it. I'm thinking you guys are thinking, whoa, steady.
Options are good.
Always an option.
Yes.
Always an
Options are
option.
good.
Variety is the spice of life, man.
Yeah.
You always-
Every time I play a 2-player game with Turbo 857, for
Friendly
some
fire.
reason he loves to attack me, and he swears it's not on purpose, and he somehow keeps attacking me. So I always like the option to turn it off so
Yes.
he doesn't attack me.
Because it depends on who you're playing with.
Yeah, some people are clumsy.
Yes.
You know, people just hit the button and
Right.
somehow kill me, or some people steal the food.
I don't mind it
and that-
so much.
But that
you
makes
know?
it
Yeah, because you always hit me,
the
so
one
you
hitting me.
enjoy it.
But it makes it not fun for the other person that doesn't enjoy it.
You
So
have
that's-
to acknowledge your spacing and position a little bit more. Be mindful of that, and I think it encourages that type of play.
If there's an
Mindful of
on and
your
off button,
surroundings.
Yeah, it's
we're
just, if it's
perfect.
an option, it's fine.
Perfect.
If it's an option,
It's good for
that
both
solves
parties.
everything.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with controllers. It's like if you force people to play only motion controls, people are going to get angry. The people that don't like
Yeah.
it. But if you give them an option,
Options
you can
are
play
always
with or
good.
without, they're happy.
And
Everybody's
nobody's
happy.
mad. Nobody's mad.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah,
It's the kind of thing that it's easy to put in as an option, basically, to turn it off. It's not
Yes.
it's not a difficult kind of thing to do. So yeah, all good.
A
All good on
game that actually just came up to mind was Nine Parchments.
it's a great game,
Oh,
but
that
you
game's
guys.
awful.
There's no option
Because
to
of
turn
that.
this freaking thing off. I'm like,
Because
it's
you hit
friendly
each other,
fire.
it's
You can
awful.
hit each other. I'm like,
Oh,
You know what?
sucks.
Especially for a game like that, it should
wasn't-
not have that in there because it's magic. And,
everything
and,
was awesome about
and
the game.
things will explode everywhere.
You
and
can
it's like,
minimize
it's a
it, so
good
it's only
beat 'em up.
half damage.
But
So it's
Oh, we
only
stopped playing that.
Still not fun.
And
didn't
I
have fun with
really like the game.
I like
a
the
lot.
game a lot.
But
you guys
we
four
like
stopped.
players.
Me and
stopped playing
Sticks did not enjoy the playthrough that we were.
Yeah.
All right, Chalk, take Al's place, and we'll try to get Jay to get back in.
No,
Oh, I'm done with
good.
that. I'm done with that.
nah,
So they put in the option to turn it off.
They're not going to. They refuse to do it.
They
It'll just
refuse to
have
do
to
it.
be us, man. It'll just have to be us.
Frozen Bit said no.
I don't know why they're on the high horse.
Or is it
They
Bite?
don't-
Frozen Bite.
What are you saying right
Frozen, it's the kind of developer, Frozen Bite.
now? Oh,
They said no.
I thought you were just saying
They were
random names.
they were questioning Twitter about it, and they're like,
Oh, okay.
nah, there's no plans to take that out right now. I ain't gonna
Oh,
do it."
Because they're done with the game. They're done. They're not messing with the game anymore.
They're working on something else probably.
Trying.
For all we know.
So, Mike, if you don't see in this little thumbnail next to you, we got your game playing in there, and we see the wolf
Awesome.
snatch the guy and slam the hell out of him, and then drag his dead
Yeah.
carcass right off the screen.
That's awesome.
And that's what we
That's
like.
awesome.
We like
Exactly
seeing
what
that.
Yes.
That's what we want to see.
He's like trained to like just be a savage, you know. He grabs them by the throat. He grabs them by the throat and
Yes.
then slams them. I want it so that basically you're gonna have some of the enemies just kind of run away when they see the wolf coming. So after they've watched their friends get just like mauled and dragged off the screen, kind of kicking and screaming, they're gonna start running and he'll kind of pounce on them and keep going. So he's. I was kind of writing on the Kickstarter page about the different martial arts the different characters do. So you've got like kind of kickboxing and taekwondo and MMA and street fighting. And I was kind of thinking, what's the wolf do? He's just a wolf. But he's like a trained, fighting, vicious, beat 'em up wolf that can slam. Because what I didn't want is just him kind of pounding on people or just kind of really basic. What I wanted to make it really interesting and just. Have him kind of tearing up the place.
It's awesome.
Basically.
Nice touch, man.
Yeah,
Very
that's
nice
pretty cool.
touch.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
Pretty cool.
Definitely.
Glad you like it.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Hell
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Any other questions in the chat?
No. Well, the Mikey B's and Some Pity to Love want to rematch and smash, and I was like,
Oh,
Man, y'all are crazy. They talking nonsense.
Oh,
man.
my God.
in
don't
relation
want
to
the
the
smoke.
They talking nonsense.
Nah, there's no other questions in the
in relation to the
Oh, I
Kickstarter?
have a question. Quick question about the character design. Who came out with the character design, and will there be any more characters if you get it funded? Any DLC or stuff like that?
That was my question.
Well, you're
Yeah. So in terms of the character design, so I designed the kind of pixel art characters. So I kind of created the characters kind of in the game. In terms of the kind of hand drawn kind of artwork that kind of heads up the trailer, and you can see it through the Kickstarter page as well. That was a guy who's he's kind of under the name of Zeb on Twitter, so it's Zeb_BR, and you'll see I've kind of tagged him in a few of the kind of Twitter posts, and I think there's some credits on the Kickstarter page as well. He's a Brazilian guy, just really talented artwork. If you look at some of his other stuff, there's a lot of fighting games that he's done a lot of artwork, basically, in his own time, basically looked at, there's a kind of art of fighting. There's a lot of the kind of Neo Geo kind of games he's kind of taken on, plus some of his own kind of original characters as well. So he's a really talented guy, and I think it was amazing seeing what he did with the Fallen City Brawl characters, because to see them kind of come to life in that way, he was like, the first time he sent me like one of the kind of draft images of, because he basically took my pixel art, which is, you can see what the character's supposed to be, but to then kind of interpret it and actually create it in the kind of detail that you need for the artwork. When it came back through, I was like, wow, that's amazing. It's just like brought it to life, So the kind of designs are my own, but obviously for that kind of artwork, he's kind of then taken that and created that artwork from them. But yeah, I wanted a kind of mixture with the game. So you've got the big guy there. I wanted him to have that chain. I want the chain that he's got around his neck to be a big kind of weapon. There's a clip on the Kickstarter, I think, of him using it as a kind of, Scorpion's move.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked cool. That looked very cool.
Kind of thing. So kind of wrenching people in and slamming them with the chains. So it's going to be he's going to be good. So we've got like kickboxing styles. We've got Natasha as well, who's kind of fights with a kind of big wrench and kind of taekwondo as well. So some of the characters have kind of weapons that they have already, but they can pick up other weapons, and they'll kind of pick up other weapons like any other kind of character. Something I'm looking at working on, it's not kind of in the game yet, but it's something that's kind of in a kind of draft kind of stages, is the ability to kind of have multiple weapons and what happens then. So can you, if you've got a bat, can you pick up a gun and kind of stash the bat on your back while you're using the gun? And I don't know if that will work or not, or whether that will kind of just affect the balance too much in the game. But I'd like to do that. I'm looking at exploring it basically to see if there's a possibility of being able to collect multiple weapons at one point. Basically, I like the idea of having 2 of the assault rifles together, basically kind of, or 2 of the shotguns, that kind of thing. But it's not in there yet. It's just a kind of it might end up on the cutting room floor. It might end up on the scrap.
While we're on the subject of weapons, it just came to mind. There was another gripe I had. Not really a gripe. It was just different. When we did the playthrough of the Takeover, in any brawler,
lasts forever.
Yeah, well, in any brawler, there's like a limit to when you how many times you use your weapon. In the Takeover, I don't know if it was just the copy that we had or just. No.
We can run through everybody with the weapons.
You pick up a weapon, and this weapon was like usable throughout the entire stage. You could even get hit, and the weapon would be knocked out of your hand. You pick it up, and you could still use it through the entirety of the stage.
After a while, it would disappear, but it took a long time.
It took a very long time. And listen, I wasn't complaining because it was awesome.
It just made the game a lot easier.
It did make the game easier, though. It did.
The balance of the difficulty was a little off.
It definitely did.
Yeah,
that was.
It is about balance, isn't? I think if you're using a weapon and it's really enjoyable, I guess it can be frustrating if you only get it for a really short period of time. But I think you're right. If you have it for good, it's kind of like, well, where does the challenge go? If you like with the assault rifle and the shotgun and stuff like that in Fallen City Brawl, the enemy are in trouble, aren't they? If you're kind of walking around with unlimited ammo and a shotgun. It just so there's going to be limits, kind of pretty strict limits on the ammo, and things like baseball bats will break after you use them so many times. So
that makes sense.
That makes sense because what the irony of it was that in the Takeover they had you could use the weapon like a what was it, a crowbar? And
that crowbar was mad big.
Yeah, it was a long crowbar first of all, so it had the range of half of the. All right. Well, it had the range of half of the stage, and then when you shot your you had to get bullets for your weapon. Yeah. So you had a gun, but you needed bullets though. So that was regulated perfectly because it was you had to pick up bullets to get that. But if you picked up a crowbar, you could just use that.
And then your combos are obsolete because you're not doing anything but one swipe, and then everybody's dying on one swipe. So you kill a whole stage like that.
But I did want to say though that it's very rare to hear that actually that you designed the sprites before the hand-drawn artwork for a game. That's cool. That's like a rare situation.
Usually the other way around.
Right. It's usually like, oh, this is my concept. gonna sketch my idea of what the character looks like, and then they make a sprite version of that. But this was in reverse. I've never heard of anything designed that way.
It's basically because I enjoy the pixel art side of it. I'm not an expert. I'm glad you like the look of it, and I think it's it needs a little bit further work. And like I say, that will be a focus. But I feel like I'm more comfortable with the pixel art than I am with kind of hand-drawn artwork, basically. And so my initial kind of work is always kind of in the pixels side of it. And I know it is a bit unusual. Usually people sketch something out and then they try and make it from there. But if I start sketching something, I'm never happy with what it looks like. And I get more out of the process if I start with the pixel art, basically. And I'm just more comfortable with it, so it kind of starts that way. And then that's why it was such a weird kind of feeling seeing the artwork come back from that someone had interpreted from the pixel art, and interpreted it really well as well. And I think, a really professional guy, and he obviously knows what he's doing. So, but you're right, it is the opposite way around.
It actually got me thinking though, because I'm. Well, we got to talk actually after this podcast, but I'll say it live. It doesn't matter. I'd like to see what your rendition of
16-bit
rendition of us.
Yeah.
I'd like to see your rendition of that, and in return, I'll actually do a hand-drawn version of your characters. A fan art version.
Hey, that sounds really cool. I really like that. Thank you. That's a real compliment as well.
I'm very fascinated with pixel art, and I can't do it. Like it frustrates me. I'm trying to learn it, but it's like it's.
But you do the hand drawing though.
But I do. I grew up. I'm classically trained in drawing, like art. Like I went to art school, and
Julia.
It's just very Julia. No, but I'd
love to do it. I'd love to give it a shot. And I think my pixel art is something that I really enjoy it, and I feel like what I've managed to capture, I'm pleased with, but it is something that I want to continue to develop, because there are some, there's some pixel artists out there that are just phenomenal, and can, incredible work and even if you kind of look back at some of SNK kind of Neo Geo kind of games, which is kind of my kind of, if I was to say what do I want Fallen City Brawl to ultimately look like, it's pushing towards that, and it's such a high standard that it's ridiculous, but that's the kind of, that's what I want to get to in my own abilities with it, and I feel like I feel like it's challenging, but I just love kind of pixeling and so cool. I'd love to give that a shot though. Thank you. That's a real compliment. And it'd be cool.
Yeah, Garo Mark of the Wolves had some crazy pixel art.
You want to talk top tier? That's top tier.
That was on Dreamcast, right?
No, that was Neo Geo. And obviously Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy animation.
Mark of the Wolves is like super.
But that's up there,
highly,
especially
that
for
with,
someone on Neo Geo though. Yeah.
Terry Bogard and
Rock Howard.
Yeah.
I
could swear that was
it's on there. You can get it on PSN, maybe on other stores as well. It's a really good version. It plays really well. It looks just spot on. So it's just incredible animation. You can sit and just watch that game. Just beautiful. So it's a big inspiration, kind of Neo Geo stuff. So
you can see it.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we can tell.
You can tell.
You can see it.
I'm terrible at the game. I play it. I've shared some of the. You can like do the PlayStation share thing on Twitter and that, and I'm like sharing clips of me playing kind of Garo, and I'm just no good at it. I love to look at it. I'm just poor at playing it. I'm just rubbish. I suck at playing that game, but I do enjoy it. I do like it. I think I play too much Street Fighter 2 and kind of getting kind of the transition into the kind of Neo Geo fighters, the King of Fighters, and that kind of stuff is. I think because you're so used to the Street Fighter kind of way of fighting, I find it difficult to transition, maybe. The visuals,
they play different.
It's very different. I'm a King of Fighters fan, I
Yeah.
suck at Street Fighter. but-
SNK vs. Capcom threw me off because that
Yeah.
doesn't play like a Street Fighter. It
Yeah.
plays more like King of Fighters.
It's dope though.
But I'm wearing a Neo Geo shirt, so that I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Neo Geo. When I
even
saw
know
your
what Neo
Kickstarter,
Geo
Man, you found that shirt. What you talking about, man?
I found it in the street.
But no, that's always been awesome. Like I mean,
Yes,
and
yes,
as an opposite side, especially when they have like River City art, like with their pixels.
They're always good. I
And it's
love
not
River City.
as realistic looking, but as far as animation and everything like that, that's top tier also. So they kick ass with pixel art too.
Magician Lord. I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm joking.
I mean,
I'm
that's
joking,
good
I'm
too.
joking.
But
No, it's
no,
not.
the game is
Hated that fucking
yeah, the
game.
game is not fun.
Hated that game. Hated that game.
But I mean, I think we got everything we need out of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd like to let everybody know how they could fund this game and where they can reach you, let everybody
Yeah,
know.
definitely. So we're on Kickstarter right now. We've got, I think, 14 days left in the campaign. So it's under Fallen City Brawl. So you can search on Kickstarter for Fallen City Brawl, and it'll come up. I'm on kind of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everything's kind of at Fallen City Brawl. I'm Mike Wells, so you can search for that as well. But and then there's fallencitybrawl.com as well. So yeah, so it'd be fantastic to there's, like I say, there's a lot of passionate people that have backed the game already, and I'm so grateful. And it's been great coming and talking to you guys about it. It's great talking to people that are just passionate about beat 'em ups and games generally. So I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, so if people would like to support it, then I'd be really grateful. And I'm just really dedicated to making it an awesome beat 'em up. So thank you.
Oh wow! Well, you're a very talented, developer. It's awesome. We believe in your product, and we can't wait for the end of this Kickstarter, because we know, or we think we know, that people will hopefully support this for anybody
See it
out
get
there.
done.
Yeah, man.
We just got to get the word out more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
we'll do our best to try to get the spread the word to all the beat 'em up fans.
Hell yeah.
I think
Fantastic.
I think it's a no brainer to anybody who's a beat 'em up fan.
Yeah.
You know, like if you see this, you're gonna definitely be like, all right, yes.
If you
This
see this,
makes
you're gonna
sense.
want to back it.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Like, there's no way you're gonna see the trailer and be like,
Right.
Yeah, man.
If
Show
you're a
some
beat 'em up
love,
fan,
man.
you're gonna want to back it. And
Yeah.
we believe in it. So
Thank you. That's really kind. I really do appreciate the support, and I appreciate the ideas as well. I've got some good ideas from our chat. So.
We got a lot, man.
Yeah,
we got a lot.
listen,
just remember, Big Chalk Flatbread.
and I got to be shirtless with a purple leather coat.
Yes. What? Wait.
We didn't say we're all good ideas.
Wow. Yeah.
We can take all the good
Yeah.
ideas.
Not all our ideas are good. So
But believe me, we play enough of
That
this
looks like a
thing. We
bad
play enough beat 'em ups to know what works and what doesn't. So
Yes, definitely.
we'll be glad to help out with
and
anything.
if you want to show, lend us a demo of what you guys working, we'll be more than happy to give you some feedback.
Hell yeah, man.
More than happy to, man.
All good.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to get into people's hands. I can't wait for other people to play it. I'm really looking forward to that. So, well, thank you again. I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk to you guys. It's been good.
Thank you for
Problem.
coming.
Thank you
on.
for your
Awesome, man.
time.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
right.
Fallen
Talk
City
soon, Mike.
Brawl, everybody. Fallen City Brawl.
Take it easy.
That was Mike Wells.
Support this game, ladies and gentlemen, because we're
Great dude.
supporting it. Passionate guy. You like beat 'em ups.
And we're beating up experts, actually.
Yeah, man.
We've played a million of them.
A million.
A million.
We played a million of them. I know something good when I see it. I like the ideas and the influences. He said Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, Guardian Heroes. I mean, that's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
You're in the right direction when you have those influences for a beat 'em up.
Absolutely.
And
And indies have been knocking it out.
Yeah,
Those
man.
2D side-scrolling beat 'em ups.
and he said there's a possibility of a 3-player, maybe 4-player. You never know, man.
You never know.
So
And in case you guys missed it, the link is in the chat box right now.
Yeah.
That's
so you
right.
can click and go visit the Kickstarter, check out the trailer, and go back it.
Yeah,
He's
man.
already over
right.
halfway there, I think, right?
I think he's a third of the way.
just
Third-
he's
okay.
creeping
About
up
a
on
third.
half. Creeping up on half.
Creeping up on half.
But
okay.
it's gonna gain momentum because we're gonna spread the word. Gotta let you guys
Well,
know.
it's on a Level 857 podcast.
Yeah,
so,
no,
you know
we're
what
gonna
I'm
spread the
saying?
word. Once you're watching this, you already know you're gonna check it out. You know you want to.
And
check
we
it
don't
out.
steer you wrong, man.
Yeah.
Will we steer you wrong?
If you watch this far, you already know. You've seen the trailer. We had it on the screen right there.
That's
so.
right, man.
But definitely, beat 'em up fans, you will not be disappointed when you see this. It all makes sense right away. All makes sense.
Back
Yeah,
the
man.
game. And if you can't
Yeah.
back it, get in front of it so you can tell other
dear
people.
God,
Whatever you want to do.
dear God.
As long as you show your support, make
Dear
this
God.
game happen.
But
Wow.
that wolf though.
Wolf's awesome.
Dude, that wolf.
That wolf is
awesome.
vicious.
The wolf, the parrying system, there's a lot of stuff.
The
there's a lot of
zoom
different
in
stuff
got
in
me excited because that reminded me of the Neo Geo of especially
throws.
Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown, how it zooms in and
throw.
zooms out.
Air throws.
Awesome. I
Smash
was
him,
like,
smash him.
I wanted to ask him, but I was afraid to ask because I'm like, I hope he just doesn't tell me that. That was just something we did in a trailer. That's what I was thinking when I saw it.
It's in the game,
And then
man.
when he said, no, that's a mechanic that's in the game, the zoom in, he's like, I wanted to, and he said Neo Geo. I was like,
I like the look of it. I
That
like
is
the
awesome.
grittiness. I like the grittiness.
I
I
do
don't
too.
want all beat 'em ups to look the same. Like I like the
No.
gritty, the
Well,
grittiness of it.
there's weight in it also. So
Yes.
like when you hit
And
and
it
you see
shakes.
somebody fall,
Yes.
like you feel that.
Yeah,
That's
And the
awesome.
grittiness adds to that. So
yeah.
it's fine.
And the puff of smoke that popped up from it. I'm like,
You
I
can-
like
I mean, he
that.
said he's not done with the graphics.
Of course.
Anyway, obviously, it's just a
It's-
trailer, and it's
from-
not
from
you know,
what it
not
looks like,
near complete yet.
Looks fun.
from what it looks like, and this is
It's in a good,
obviously
it's
this
going
is
the
a-
right direction.
And this is the early stages. It looks good. We already had a conversation with him. He's very passionate about beat 'em ups. He likes the same beat 'em ups that we do.
No, he knows what a
It's-
good beat 'em up is.
Yeah.
He understands that. You know, we had some good talking points. He got some good pointers also from our point of view, and
Couple of
yeah,
good singers.
I'm really excited about it, man.
The sound is very important, and
I
Definitely.
like
and
the fact
think
that
that's
the dude that was on there doing the music, Daniel.
Yes,
I like that. He showed you what I never see
process.
behind the scenes of
The
the process
process
of
of
making
it.
the song.
That's what sold
and he
me.
was like, I have this here,
Yes.
and I don't like this part.
Yes.
And I saw the magic happen
Yes.
as it happened. I was like,
That's
oh man,
awesome.
now he changed that completely.
I like it.
Yes.
And it sounded dope.
Dude, I
You know
left
what's
it. I left it
crazy?
running. I left it. I was sitting down on the computer. I was like, I just want to let this running and see the music. And I was just like,
and it got
I
better.
I
don't know
like
if-
this. I
'Cause I
like
liked it
that.
at first. I was like, I understand what he's saying. There's too much there.
No, but he
then
improved it.
He flipped
He
it. And
flipped
I
it
was
and
like,
made it better.
keep that. Keep
Yes,
that.
yes.
Nah,
yes,
he
yes.
has some. He got the right people to work on it with him, and it needs to
Yeah.
it needs to be funded. It really does need to be funded because it comes out, it's going to do well, and I would like to see a sequel. I want to see
Got 2
it
weeks.
build. I would like to
From
see it.
today. He's got 2 weeks. So you got to let
Yeah.
the word get out there.
Yes.
You know what?
There's
I
14
gotta
days left.
contact a couple people. I have a certain somebody that I want to contact.
A few,
Put out the
a few
tweets.
people.
Put out the tweets,
A
y'all.
few people.
I have a certain somebody that
And
I
listen,
want to contact about this.
Everybody out there who's watching this, man, spread the word.
Yes.
If you like this, if you definitely support it, you know other people that are definitely going to enjoy this, man. Spread the word, man. Support it. Back this Kickstarter. It sounds awesome. It looks awesome.
Looks fun, man.
Looks very fun. What else can we say about it?
And if it's
What
back,
else is it?
you'll see it on this channel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn right, you'll
Oh,
see
yeah.
it on this channel.
Oh, yeah.
Spread the word.
And if you
spread
see-
the whole game title.
And
Alright,
if you
let's-
see
Fallen
Big
City
Choco,
Brawl.
and if you see Big Choco in the game, that's even better. No,
With his purple coat
the
open.
Chuck's
and
gonna
the
be in like
flat
8 games.
Chuck's he's working on like a whole library of games.
Slow
He's gonna be
down.
in.
that's gonna be
Listen.
the theme. That's gonna be the theme.
We're gonna be in the background.
Yeah.
We're gonna be very far in the background.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be
We'll be
cheering
in the crowd.
And Chalk's out there with
Yeah,
his
yeah.
fucking jacket,
We'll be part
doing
of
the
it.
flatbread.
Getting my ass beat by the main character.
I hope so. I hope so.
It would be my
He'll be
honor.
like he'll be the weakest boss.
Yeah.
He'll be stuck in the combo
He'll
like
pop out, get tossed into the garbage.
We assist him. We assist you, like the player. Like
Whatever.
We're coming as assists.
Throw this at him. Like what?
Chalk calls us for help. We're like this in the background. Nah, we good, man. We're just in the
We
background.
don't want that smoke. We don't want
We're in
that
the
smoke.
background. We good.
You wanted to be in the
You
game.
wanted to be
you
in the
wanted
game.
to be in the game. And
We
that's it.
wanted to chill in the background.
Be a bubble that comes
Yeah.
up and it says that. Like
You didn't
holding
say
up signs
how.
like-
You didn't say how you wanted to be in the game.
This is what you wanted.
you asked for it.
You just wanted no shirt.
No shirt, purple jacket. though.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
But anyway,
We got ideas, man. We got ideas.
everybody out there in the chat, thank you so much for contributing tonight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know we're going to be on this podcast. We do this every Wednesday. You know that we do this on at 7:30.
I thought you
PM.
said Saturday. I was like, Saturday? We don't do this on Saturday, dude.
I almost did say it.
I was like, no, we don't do this
Wednesday,
on Saturday.
I almost did say that.
PM Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern,
Yes.
y'all.
Most of the time,
Standard
7:30.
Coast. We in the East Coast, y'all.
Unless otherwise stated.
Yeah, if it's a
Unless
different
otherwise-
time, we'll let
today,
you know.
Today
The
was
normal
an
time.
exception.
The
Today
normal
was an-
time,
today-
7:30 PM.
Today was an exception. But yeah, follow us on all the social media.
Yep.
If you want to listen to this podcast,
Audio.
it's okay. You can still listen to it on all the podcasting services.
The audio podcast service.
But
Oh, yep.
yeah, man.
Until next time.
And also, if you missed this live, you can watch it on YouTube. It'll be posted up on our channel. So you got to subscribe to make
hit
sure
that
you
like
get
Hit
that.
that subscribe button.
Make that
That's
happen.
right.
And subscribe.
That's right. And leave a comment and let us know what you think. We
right.
want to know what you think, man.
That's right. That's right.
We're very active in the comments. So
Damn right we are.
Hell yeah.
that being said, until next week, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.
Later, guys.
Bang bang.